All right, look at that. Here we are again. It feels like the older you get, the quicker the days go by, and feel like we were just sitting here a week ago. As a matter of fact, it was. That's how it all starts, my man. Listen, Dell is feeling a little under the weather, a little queasy, eating stuff he probably shouldn't be eating, that kind of stuff. But I digress because in his absence, we were able to build together a super team, if you will, each with their own individual powers. One guy has a power to freeze, and we all know who that is. And he's going to be coming up very next. Let's start with my one guy's running late. We're Frank from Atlas will be running late. Hopefully, he'll join us for the actual bracket show. What's going on there, Rob? Good to see you. All right, here we go. Dorf. That's one.
I promise not to freeze.
Please, by all means. Or maybe freeze, make him not feel too bad. Then we got Ish.
At least he didn't insult us in the intro this week.
No, listen. I'm not all about I'm changing a new leaf. Ish. Son of a bitch. Then we got Tom.
Do you change a new leaf or do you turn it?
I turn it. And then once that side gets fucked up, then I turn it again.
Or he wears leaves like the ancient Greeks did. So it's like
he changes
his leaves. Hopefully daily.
All right, now I'm scared. Now I'm a little frightened. This next guy. All right, here we go. I see you in the background, you son of a bitch. I see your face. All right, here we go. All right, now we know that J. Rob has the internet from 1994. All right, so he's still trying to catch up with today's technology, and he says he's fine. He says he's okay, but he's using that DirecTV dish internet. I'm just saying. All right,
it's the AOL dish, man.
It's not FiOS, it's BIOS. Okay, here we go. We have here we go. Hey, thanks a lot, Prairie Meadows, Mr. Krantz. Thank you so much. There you go. Mr. Caesar, total 31 plus. Wow. So we have 31 people watching at Prairie Meadows Nursing Home who watch us every Tuesday night. Shout out to you guys. You guys are always there. Rain, shine. As a matter of fact, they never freeze.
What up, Pete?
Pete, what's going on, my man? All right, guys. We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to do one topic, and then we're going to hit the bracket challenge. Everyone loves the bracket challenge, because everyone gets all involved. They start to vote and all that BS. And but what I do want to do is I want to talk about this whole. So everyone noticed. It's kind of funny. I have yet to see it, but everyone probably saw the latest Venom trailer that dropped, and it dropped a few more stuff. And in the teaser, they just showed the throne that looked like belonged to Noel. Lo and behold, they're finally going to bring that guy to the MCU. Remember back when they thought he was going to come out in, when was it? The God and Blender? The
Sony MCU anyway.
That's right.
Not the MCU.
Not the MCU. So, if you guys might not know, so Noel is a character that's part of the Venom verse. He's the king of all the symbiotes and all that symbiotes and all that bullshit.
Basically,
right? Yeah. The big brouhaha about this is that the creators, Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman, who helped create Noel, they saw the teaser the same time everybody else in the universe saw it, and they're like, "Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. So you're trying to tell me Noel's going to be in this movie, and we're first to find out with everybody else?" So basically, it's almost as if they're not getting the credit, or what's going on. So I'm going to ask you guys what your thoughts are on this, but I'm going to go with Ish first because he already wants to argue and complain about it. So Ish, what do you got to say about this?
What's the question, first of all?
Well, what do you think, fool?
Do we care with Donny Cates?
Now, do we care? Oh,
No,
I see
no,
what you're
seriously.
No,
No,
seriously.
okay, no. If we're gonna talk about Nolan in the movie, that's one thing. But you put up Donnie Cates and Ryan Stegman and them finding out, and you made it like it's a totally different issue, right? So on that issue, I care about how creators feel, but they don't own the character. Marvel does. They created the character under Marvel's umbrella, and certainly they should be given credit and compensated for it, but they don't own no. They didn't create it for Image with Vanish and Donny Cates' stupid crossover book or the stupid Vanish book, he created it for Marvel in the Venom title. So it's Marvel's character, and even more so for film purposes, it's Sony's character. And I'm not saying I don't care. I'm kind of being obviously ish, but I certainly care about creators, and I would like for them to get credited, and I'm sure their names will be put on the film. Should it be compensated? Well, I don't know. I don't know how stuff like that works. We're not talking like Batman, right? We're talking Null, who no one outside of comics knows.
Dio brought up a point. We don't know what their contract was on all this. We don't. We're just the armchair quarterbacks talking about what we see, what this and that, and what is posted about Donny Cates and blah, blah, blah. They want credit and all that stuff, but we don't know what is what. But you're right. It is a Marvel.
From a general sense, anything that you do for Marvel and DC is work for hire. If you create something for them, this is why Image exists, is because these guys were creating Venom and Psylocke and whatever else they were creating back in the day. And Marvel was like, well, we're going to sell 1 million t-shirts. And Todd McFarlane was like, so do I get $1? Do I get a t-shirt? Like, do I get anything from that? And they were like, nah. Image came from that. Now I'm sure that contracts probably have had some modifications over the last decade or so, especially since Marvel has exploded. There are probably some modifications from what used to be, but still ultimately it is going to be a work for hire contract. So there will be no ownership for sure. What you are legally obligated to do for a creator, in this case, Stegman and Cates, that'll be dependent upon what they negotiated for their contract. And if their contract says, well, we're going to write whatever it is we write for Marvel, as this Venom book, hey, if they're going to come in and say, hey, let's make this Null guy for Marvel, and their contract doesn't state if this becomes a movie or a TV show or an action figure, we get money, then Marvel has no legal obligation to give them money. Now, there's certainly going to be an aspect of a moral segment to this where it's like, because a lot of the times this stuff was being created well before the Marvel universe, well before the billion-dollar franchises. And so a lot of these guys that created back in the day under old contracts are like, yo, but what about us? I don't know how long Null's been around. It's got to be at least 10 years, right? Anybody know how long he's been around?
What's in that?
So at least within the context of the billion-dollar franchises, I would assume he's in there. So, we may have some contracts, but if they don't want to talk about their contract, if they're just going to say, pay me, we need to know, well, does your contract say pay me? And if it does, then pay them. If the contract doesn't say pay me, then you just have to kind of rely on the moral side of Marvel to be like, well, here's 10 grand in an action figure.
And let's not forget, Sony has historically not been the most forthcoming and easy to work with in regards to things. Remember, they were going to hold up the whole Spider-Man thing, and we're going to have it end until Tom Holland is the one who brought both sides back to the table to make sure it happened.
And rightfully so. And so
absolutely,
by the way, right? Sony wasn't wrong for that, by the way. But anyway, go on.
They weren't wrong for it, except that they basically were turning away a shit ton of money that they could have had.
Well, the thing is, right, from a fan perspective, as fans, of course, but from a business perspective, it's like, yo, this is our character.
That's what I'm saying.
We have designs for this character. We want to do some things with this character. So if you want to talk, make it worth our while, because it is our character. It's not Disney's character for the purposes of movies.
Yeah, I mean, Sony at that point, if they are looking at the Spider-Man stuff and going, we don't have to re-up on this. We could literally absorb that back into what we do in some capacity. And if Tom Holland wants to continue being Spider-Man, well, come be a Sony Spider-Man. That was probably what was in their brain. Now, whether Tom would have done that or not, who knows? But that was probably what was going on in their head. Take advantage of what Marvel did and reincorporate it ourselves.
Well,
There's-
like
There is more to it than just that. Also, with we're talking about these contracts, you have no idea what Sony built into this contract or what Marvel has built into their contracts. It could be that if your character becomes the lead of a movie, that it's their own series and whatever, you're entitled to blah. But he's not. He's just this little bit. This is all to the nuance
Well,
of
but we do know
whatever
what Sony got,
contract.
right? Like
What's up?
Sony got we do know what Sony got, right? We know.
No,
it
I'm
came
talking
out
about.
this-
I'm
okay.
talking about the creators now. I'm
Okay,
saying the
okay,
nuances
sorry.
of their contract, because it could very well be Sony or whoever using a loophole and saying, "Hey, yeah, they're in there, but they're not the main feature. They're not this, so you're not entitled to anything additional." But again, without knowing the nuance of the contract, what was written out, how things were worded, I mean, unfortunately, we all know that all of these huge companies like to use those loopholes that are built in there that you might not have seen to save themselves a buck here or there because they're business people just like everyone else. They
So
want
it's-
to make the most.
So-
And here's the other thing is that Sony doesn't own Spider-Man. They license the Spider-Man
Right.
universe. So even if they did something, Sony is not obligated to pay anybody. It's the ownership of the IP. Marvel still owns the IP. So
Right.
they're licensing it to Sony, making that money back to Marvel, and then Marvel gets whatever that bag is, and they go, well, it's our bag. How much do we give Stegman and
it's a small bag for Marvel too.
sure,
Right? It's a small bag for Disney.
Sure.
And that's the best point that you made. Because Sony bought a license and they get to license everything under that editorial house, right? Everything.
Yep.
Anything created under that editorial house
Yep.
goes to Sony. Now under that house, you have all of the Spider Society, all the Spider-Verse,
Yep.
all of the Venoms, all of the Spider-Man titles, all of the Miles Morales titles, Spider-Boy. All of this falls under the Spider House. All of this falls under that Sony license umbrella. They don't own Spider-Man. They've licensed these characters and they have the right to use anything that comes out in Marvel Comics under the Spider-Man umbrella, whether Donny Cates likes it or not.
Mhm.
That's something that Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman have to take up with Marvel,
Mhm.
Right.
with Disney.
Well, this is one of those things, Tom. I'm going to use an example.
Mm-hmm.
You write characters, you know, stuff like that. This is where if someone goes, "Fantastic, Tom, we're going to make a movie." This you're like, "Fantastic! I'm getting the rights to. I mean, this is my creation. I'm not. What would you would license? How would that work for your character? Now, you're not creating a character for Marvel. You created a character for yourself, for your own publishing, for your own book.
Right.
If somebody wanted to make a movie based on your book, right?
Yeah.
This is more power to you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm still the publisher. I'm still Big Dog Inc. Everything is Big Dog Inc. It's not, there's a company behind it. It's not just Tom getting a check. It's the company would get it. The company owns the things and, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it would be the same type of thing. It would be like, okay, here's money for a Critter cartoon, right? Whatever. And then they go off and make the cartoon and whatever revenue percentage I negotiate comes back and so on. And then at that point, it would be the same thing because it's all basically work for hire. But for me, because I come from sort of I come from the Stegman and Cates camp because I'm a creator myself. I am not the head of Disney, going like, let's make our money. I know that the guys that have worked for me and have done these books and done the art in whatever capacity, I know that these guys deserve acknowledgement 100%. Definitely their names need to be in there. And for me, I would figure out some aspect of, percentage based to be like, hey, you know what? FICO Ocio, who's the artist for Critter for so many years, I'd be like, look, man, I just got $100,000. Let me give you something out of that to say thank you for what you did for that period, even though there's no ownership transfer or anything. It's just for me, I would be like, dude, you deserve this. It's like even when we made Critter toys and stuff, I'm like, I gave them to our creators. I'm like, do you want a figure? Like, you guys have worked on Critter for years. Like, do you want some of this stuff? So for me, that's where I come from. in that regard. But I'm also not a $1 billion licensing entity like, you know, Disney and all that, where that's their goal, is absorb as much cash as we can through the licensing of all this stuff to 1 million licensors.
Yeah, and this is true. I think this is,
and that's where it comes back. That's the moral side of it, right? I think a lot of the creators get the moral side of it. A lot of the businessmen are like, fuck that. Contract doesn't say
I've
that.
been a writer, I've been a creator, and I understand the moral side of it. And
Yeah.
in some instances, right, my middle finger to the moral side of it. And I don't mean that in the F the creator way. I mean it in when is it ridiculous and when isn't, and how do we know? And I think we know based upon the nature of the contract, right? Like what type of contract you engage in. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you create null, how do you know null is going to be null? So certainly somebody should receive royalties for Batman. But should they receive royalties because Cloak does a cameo in a movie? Or because Luna from, you know, the Inhumans or you know, Quicksilver's wife makes a cameo in a movie, should that person get royalties for that? Should they be considered like just some average character does a cameo?
Right. And that's
And you know what I mean? It's like, where do we go on?
well, no,
No,
that's because what you're saying, right? Because they are part of, they are owned by DC or they are owned by Marvel. I mean, in the credits, they'll get a little credit of created by or
Yeah, but think
whatever
about
it
that,
is.
right? If you do a Marvel, say Secret Wars comes out, right? The Secret Wars movies, and they're supposed to be bringing 60 plus characters. Does every person who created every one of these characters, no matter how big or obscure they are, name have to be in the credit? You see what I'm saying? Like, what if it's just some obscure character? We're not talking Batman. And not to knock Null. Null is outside of this very niche part of the Marvel universe. Nobody knows who Null is.
Well, I don't think the credit is a problem. I mean, putting credits in the credits is simple. I think, you know, in this case, Stegman and Cates are like, where's my money? Like, why am I not being paid for this in any capacity? Whether it's just, again, like a little handout, like here's a couple grand, or a legitimate.
And it's
like,
a good argument because
you know.
Stegman and Cates created pretty much what we know as the modern Venom mythos. Like they pretty much created what we know outside of all of this, all of the stupid, you know, all of his grandkids and all of the symbiote's kids. They created pretty much what we know: the Null, the Eddie, the Dylan Brock, the, you know what I mean, the King in Blacks. They like all of that comes from Cates and Stegman. So it's a good argument.
Yeah. So I'm not even disagreeing, but again, it's all based on their contract that they signed. And if they went in and said to their editor, hey, you know what, editor, we're going to work on this Venom thing, and we want to make Null, and we want to do all of this stuff. And the editor was like, yeah, cool, go ahead and do it. But their contract didn't say if Null becomes a thing, we get more money. Then they didn't negotiate their contract to that point. If they're still just under the work for hire banner, then they know that they're creating it just for the sake of the comics in that regard. So that's kind of the weird, you know, again, it's that gray area. It's the moral ambiguity of it. It's like, yes, Marvel should morally have a sense of like, look, we got to give these guys something, but they're not legally obligated to it in theory based on the contract.
They gave them something.
What did they give
Before
them?
we
No.
They paid them for their work.
Oh, they did. Yes, you're 100% right. They were paid for the comic book work. 100%, you're right. But when it translates then to a new medium, that's where it's sort of like when Hollywood contracts went batshit, right? Because Hollywood contracts were set up before streaming started, and then when streaming started and all the movies started moving to streaming, the actors that used to get residuals off of the movies and off of DVD sales and all of that, they got nothing off of streaming because streaming didn't exist when the contracts were made. So now we used to have contracts like, hey, we're making comics for you. Great. That was before $1 billion movies were being, you know, tent-poled off of the creations of these contracts. So again, I'm sure that new contracts have some new wording, but I don't know how far back that would go before that wording came into play.
Let me throw an argument on the
They're not creating those characters for that comic but I still own it.
Oh,
Here goes the martial arts, Phil.
He finally got to talk.
No, they're creating it for that company, and I don't know for sure, but I'm about 99% sure that in those contracts, you are creating this.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
We can do what we want with it going forward, no matter whether it's
Yeah, whether you use a restroom or you cook dinner.
or you anything else, unless it's in that contract. We say morality. This is business. In business, it's about what you have in that contract, and that's all you're owed.
And actually, what he said,
both sides.
What he said is it speaks to what I was going to say, and it's very interesting. It also kind of touches on what Tom was saying, right? Because while Tom makes a really good point, we have to consider that you also brought up the point of what happened with Image, and this is the reason why we have these independent companies, right? We have these. And when I say the successful independent companies, a lot of these people, Jason Aaron, for instance, even Donny Cates, are writing indie books for the sole purposes of hoping to get their options picked up. It isn't like Donny Cates, and I don't mean to say this, is going to Marvel and saying, "Hey, I'm going to make Marvel." It's an opportunity for Donny Cates to write Venom as well, right? It's a big opportunity for Donny Cates, or it's a big opportunity for Kieran Gillen to get an X book, or it's a really big opportunity. We're talking their big boy books, right? Venom, Hulk, one of the X titles. These are even one of the Spider titles, right? The main Spider title. These are so-called their big market or their big ticket books, not like Avengers or anything, which are not their big ticket books. So these are opportunities as well. It's not like you're just like, oh, we need you to come here and save this title. This title is Donny Cates is known for Venom. And because he did Venom as much as he made Venom. I mean, Donny Cates has done some other dope stuff, God Country, Baby Teeth. I'm not going to take anything away from that. But he's done some horrible stuff too, right? Like Vanish and Crossover. And I'm going to say it. I know we like to protect certain things, but it's just garbage. You know what I mean? It really, we all read Spaceship Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say it, but I'm going to say it.
It was not good. It was not good.
It was. You didn't even read it because it was so bad.
And
everyone here who read it is probably not going to say how bad it was, and I understand why. But I'm just going to say it because I can say his Venom was great. But that Hulk book, man, stop it! Like that, you didn't finish it. They will want you to. You know what? I'm gonna.
Not everybody hits every time. I mean,
right.
But that was a miss. That was like a different sport. Like
you know what?
He's playing kickball. He's playing baseball.
This is the thing too, is that when people, especially, listen, when someone creates a character in their mind, and this you could relate to this, Tom, is that in their mind you want your baby to grow and blow up in any medium as possible. Okay, but you would never expect to have a bidding war on your character or have a bidding war on your book from all these Hollywoods, and you're like, you created for the love of it and this and that. And when Donny Cates and did this, he was probably never really expecting Noel to come out in a movie, and they're like, hey, we bought, thank you. You got paid for this character. Thank you so much. Sure, make another one for us down the road. And now we're going to make a movie with this character. You can't go back and go, hey, but wait a minute. You already sold me your character, my man.
Yeah, you're right. You can't go back. But these guys, like I said, somebody just said that Null was created in 2018, right? So like I said, within the last 10 years, this has happened. That's when Marvel has been blowing up with all these gigantic movies. So at 2018, you're squarely in the middle of the rise of the Marvel MCU movie thing. If you are not at that point negotiating a contract that says, if I create something for you and it becomes a movie, I need a little bit of kickback. If you're not negotiating that, that falls on you. And at that point, you're squarely in the middle of watching this stuff skyrocket to the moon. It's like Star-Lord.
Jonathan Hickman did it.
Yeah.
I promise you, Jonathan Hickman got some stuff in his contract.
Yeah.
Right now, what he did in 20. Think about it. We got the whole Krakoan era of X-Men from Jonathan Hickman. The Secret Wars stuff is coming up. I'm almost positive Jonathan Hickman was like, yo, y'all about to give me this whole X-Men line. I'm going to be the editor-in-chief. I'm going to be able to create the. I need some things in my contract because I see where this is going.
Yeah.
Like I see.
That's the thing. Everyone should see where it's going, and anyone that's creating for Marvel or DC, should see where the not necessarily that it's 100% going to happen. Like we said, like Null is sort of a weird, like, how are we doing this? But if you're creating something brand new for these companies, at any point they could snap their fingers and be like, let's make that and let's go. So if you have to know in your negotiation tactics, like, hey, look, I'm making a Black Canary comic book for you, and I'm going to make this whole new lineup of good guys and bad guys, that could become a James Gunn thing in a few years. And you need to negotiate that in your contract.
And I'm going to say that Null is a logical step on film. I'm taking it there.
That's easier said.
Oh man, what's up?
Because there's not one creator out there who is going to make or break Marvel or DC. Those companies.
I
character for you, but you got to give me a piece. If you put it on a screen or on a TV, they'll just be like, no, because guess what? There's a whole line of creators out here who are ready and willing to create doggone property for us.
Man, 7 artists left Marvel to form Image, and Marvel beat the hell out of them. Like Marvel beat, they were dope, but Marvel was whooping their butt. It didn't change the way the wind blew in Marvel's life.
Well, that's not actually true. When Image came out, Image had 3 or 4 books, and they were dominating the market. What killed Image
is not meeting deadlines.
The fact that's right. The fact these guys couldn't put the books out on time, and that's what was there.
And when you say they dominated the market, well, okay, so let's be fair. They had 3 books that came out that were ridiculously successful: Spawn, Youngblood, and followed up by Wildcats. Ridiculously successful. This didn't cut in to what Spider-Man was doing. This didn't cut into what X-Men were doing, which were Marvel's top sellers. When Todd McFarlane walked away, when Jim Lee walked away, X-Men didn't miss a beat. Spider-Man didn't, their sales didn't drop. They didn't, that's what I'm getting at. Like, they didn't miss a beat. It didn't change, it didn't impact anything. And when I tell you it didn't impact anything, I was mad. Because we got artists on X-Men who at the time, I can't remember who replaced him. He still draws. He does some stuff on he's really great now, but he wasn't at the time. Really great actor.
Brandon Peterson.
Dan Panosian, Brandon Peterson, Dan Panosian, who are really good now, but at the time, they weren't ready.
Right.
But then you got Joe Madureira. Like, they didn't miss a beat. Like, they didn't really miss a beat. Mark Bagley came in place of Eric Larson. Like, it wasn't like...
Yeah, that's the power of IP versus
right.
creators, for sure, 100%. Yeah.
Right, you got Eric Larson followed up by Mark Bagley. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, Mark Bagley, no offense to Eric Larson, who I love, and I love Savage Dragon. Mark Bagley right now today is more successful than Eric Larson.
Sure.
In comics right now.
Sure.
And I love Savage Dragon, and I love Eric Larson. Love him. Love Savage Dragon. Just keeping it real. Like, Marvel didn't really miss a beat. You're right. They did drop those 3 books, and only one of them could consistently make deadlines, and that was Todd McFarlane.
Well, that's bottom line. I am very curious to see how they're going to portray. No. What's going to happen? How are they going to come? Are they going to nerf him? Are they going to make him a badass? Is he going to be one of those? Well, first of all, let everybody not forget it's going to be a Sony. It's going to be a Sony superhero. So
it's going to be in the same vein as Venom 1 and Venom 2. So let's not forget that before we
right. Now, I think. So I'm assuming he's going to be the main bad guy, right? Or is he just going to be a little bit of a cameo? Is he going to be better than what they did with Carnage? Because they completely
can't be worse. I mean, maybe it could be, but that's hard to be worse than Carnage.
I mean, because they just absolutely desecrated Carnage's any kind of being of being a badass. They just shit down that guy's neck. It was horrific. And someone like to have that actor, who was it? Woody Harrelson, someone as great as him to just kind of his character. Oh man.
Keep in mind, Cletus Cassidy is Carnage's weakest host, right? Like, just throw that out there.
No, I mean, but yeah. Okay. So you say because they picked Cletus Cassidy,
he's the first host, but he's just the weakest host of the Carnage to be.
Listen. I guess we're not going to know until the movie comes out. We're all going to see, and we're going to get back on here and go, hey, listen.
we can know. We can know. I mean, I've seen Madam Web and Morbius, and I've seen. I know what's happening. I know what's coming.
How dare you put in more?
So does anyone think there's a swerve? No one thinks there's a swerve. They think this is because to me, first of all, I just want to say I think that Null is the logical. Everything about Venom and everything about the Sony Spider-Verse without Spider-Man in it is flawed because Spider-Man isn't in it. So you're doing a Venom movie without Spider-Man. So his first movie or no movie, does he fight Spider-Man, right? You're doing a Craven movie without Spider-Man. You're doing a Morbius movie without Spider-Man. So everything about it is flawed. Period. You did a Madam Web movie and you had to come up with a fake villain Spider-Man because you don't have Spider-Man. So if you're gonna do a Venom movie and you did the first movie, then the next logical step is Carnage. What's next for Venom? So the next thing is Null, right? So then let's play here, right? So there's a piece of the symbiote in the MCU was left in the MCU. So we know that this Venom symbiote is currently in the MCU because it was left there. So it's there. So that means essentially Null exists in the MCU, right? Like essentially some form of Null, because Null is an agent of Oblivion. He was there before all the things that were in the universe was there. There was Null, according to the mythos, right? Null was there before all the other things. There was Null. So before the death of the last universe into the birth of the new universe, the darkness, Null was there in that darkness. So if we look at this movie, I don't think Null is an endgame. I don't think Venom beats Null. I don't think there's this, we're going to give you Null at the end of the movie. Null is utterly and totally defeated. I think this is meant to end the Sony Venomverse and carry it over into the MCU.
I don't see that at all. I don't see that at all. Only because of the years long channel of like, this is what the MCU is. So the question would be, if you were going to do that, is you would have to, it would have to be a thing that it is so far down the line that we'd almost forget that it happened by the time they called it out.
There's a rumor that that's what Spider-Man 4 is supposed to be about, right?
Sure, but I still don't even believe Spider-Man 4 is happening. I mean, I don't even see Spider-Man 4 happening, to be perfectly honest with you. To me, it makes far more sense to move all of this into Miles Morales at this point, for Sony, for Marvel, for all of them. And they could do that with Null even. I mean, they could just make Miles the guy and run along with him. But,
but based on the monetary metrics, why would they not do a Spider-Man 4?
Yeah, Spider-Man 4 is happening.
Based on the monetary metrics alone, from the money that the 3 films drew.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
None
of the other ones got a 4th movie except for freaking 4. So
but none of the solo films have done what that Spider-Man franchise aggregate basically compare them next to the solo films.
Sure. But the last one was big because of all the crossovers. I mean, it had to be big. There was no chance for it to not be big. Now, if you were to suddenly be like, okay, hey, Venom is going to be Spider-Man 4, you would bring the interest in, except that there's so much anti-Venom, weird pun, for what Sony did, that if they're going to bring the Sony stuff over, I don't know that people would necessarily react to that. If you're going to do Venom in its own capacity without the Eddie Brock that we had, without Sony, then I think maybe you've got something there. But if it's going to literally be like Sony crossing over with this with those guys, I don't know that would work. I think it worked for the Spider-Mans because people like the Spider-Mans. They liked Tom Holland. They liked Toby, and they liked Andrew, and that's an easy thing. But even the bad guys in that movie, they were like, yo, this is weird stuff. Like, this is really weird stuff. Outside of Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin. So the Sony stuff is just really bizarre to have a thought process of like absorbing it in. And if it's that one little piece of Venom, then you really can start from scratch in that regard. You can literally just be like, well, this is all we have. Sort of like when Venom first showed up, it's just like, well, we just got this piece, and they could put it on Tom Holland and run that story if they wanted to run it. They don't have to go full Sony to have Venom in the MCU. They can just take that one little piece and say,
well, they'll put it on Tom Holland. That's what makes the most sense, right? To make
Sure,
a Spider-Man
sure. Oh,
that
yes.
is and has been a Venom. And in this universe, there is one in Eddie Brock first, right? So it should be Spider-Man first. So in the MCU for sure. You know what I mean? But that doesn't rule out Null.
No, doesn't rule out anything. Doesn't rule out anything, except that it would again be put one of those situations where Marvel and Sony have to make agreements as to what moves where. It's like, I mean, remember when they put the Vulture in Morbius for some reason, like, and then that just went away. No one even knows what the hell happened with that. Yeah. So, you know, Marvel had to sort of relicense Spider-Man. So now they would have to relicense Null. They would have to relicense whatever is coming over. They saw success with No Way Home. So maybe they look at that and they go, "This works. Let's do it again."
Well, it's not about relicensing, right? According to what is we know about the Spider-Man situation is that Marvel's just borrowing him.
Sure, but what I'm saying is that's it. But I'm saying there's going to be a financial thing there.
Where
Sony's going to make
money.
Money. Sony gets money off of it. Yeah,
they get most of the money.
Yeah, relicensing may not be the technical term, but like, hey, we want to do this. And the other thing is that supposedly, anytime Sony does a Spider-Man thing like this Kraven or Madam Web or whatever, that excludes them from being part of the Marvel universe, which means they have to negotiate crossover, re-crossover stuff for anything that they want to use in that regard.
It's even deeper than that. Like, before Marvel can just take a character from the Spider-Man universe and put it in a Marvel movie, they have to clear it with Sony because Sony has the license for that editorial house.
Why doesn't Marvel just fucking buy Sony's all Sony?
Sony won't, because Sony is not dumb enough to sell.
Sony won't sell.
And not only that, Sony is a financial powerhouse as well. They're not.
Spider-Man turned them into Spider-Man saved them,
and they have this thing called PlayStation.
But let's be honest though.
that everybody buys. Right? You know what I mean? Like, everybody buys it.
Well, let's be honest. Sony themselves, and I'm pretty sure they're not kidding themselves when they see a movie come out and they see the numbers and all that, they're going, "Man, we're the laughing stock of these superhero movies. Let's pull out another one." You know,
it's okay. They can just look at DC movies and say, "Hey,"
and they can say, "Look at Spider-Verse," and say, "Hey." We're nominated for Academy Awards with our animated films, our animated Marvel movie.
Basically, Caesar, the way their contract works, as long as they re-up and they do something within a certain span of time that fall into those characters, they continue to maintain control of them. So
Miles Morales guarantees they're never giving Spider-Man up ever.
100
crap that they've put out. But then you do have this Into the Spider-Verse series that are phenomenal and made bank for them. You have, hey, we can loan out Spider-Man to you and make all of this off of your back too.
Well, if that's
no
the case,
reason for them to say,
if that's the case, then loan out Kraven, loan out Venom.
No, loan out Kraven. We don't want Kraven. Who asked for a Kraven movie?
No, I'm not saying
nobody.
Nobody ever asked
for a Kraven movie.
I would love to see the actual Sinister Six against the Spider-Man, as in the whole.
Peter Maresca.
I just want to see Kraven bury Spider-Man alive in the movie end. I want Kraven's last hunt. That's what I want. I want the movie to end, and then we like, okay, the sequel's coming. When we see Spider-Man digging out the iconic where he digs out the grave. I want that. Otherwise, I don't want Kraven.
Pete, we've been saying that about DC forever too. I mean, just some people suck it right.
Oh yeah, but Sony's are holy shit. Sony's are at a whole new level.
So
low.
Venom didn't just suck. Venom was okay. The Venom franchise, part 1 and part 2 are okay. They didn't just. They weren't just like,
and they made money.
Yeah, and they made money. Better than the second one. I mean, let's be honest. I didn't mind
for sure.
Yes,
if you look at them as just being like
compared to this piece of shit, like
but you're right. But the Venom movie made more money than the Deadpool movie did. The first one, like
Mhm.
crazy.
No,
It
the
did
sec- yeah, it
crazy
did.
numbers. Yeah, it did
That-
crazy
that-
numbers.
Let's be honest.
and-
That doesn't surprise us, though, right? Venom, Deadpool. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. That's,
Yeah, but that
Well,
first Deadpool movie
but it was
really
close. It
great.
was something like, Deadpool made like 700 million, and then Venom made like 800 million. So it was close, but it did make more, and it didn't have Spider-Man in it. So that was wild. And then they made the second one, and it didn't do great, but it also had COVID to deal with, and there were other issues.
And
But
the second one was just kind of sucky.
and it was bad. No, it was definitely bad, but it still made money for what it was.
And the second Deadpool sucked too.
And so that's why we're getting this third one, which whoever knows what it's going to be. But all the other stuff, it's so weird how they've done Morbius and all these things that don't connect back. It's really, really weird.
Yeah,
like
because
there's a template for how to do this. Marvel did this for you. I don't know how you can't figure out how to do this, even if your Spider-Man is Miles Morales. Like,
how about Ben Reilly? Like,
Or
why not
Ben-
just do Scarlet Spider? Like, you have 2 more Spider-Man clones.
I don't think
Or Peter
I don't think
Parkers.
the general populace would react to Ben Reilly, but I think if you did Miles, I think you'd have something.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Because while I agree with you, I also have to disagree in the sense that the general populace didn't know Miles, right? Like, we as comic book fans did.
Sure.
But people who don't even read comics, parents were like, this movie is so great. I took my kids to see this movie. It was so great. And it was like parents and people who had no clue who Miles Morales was because it was well written and it was appealing. And I think that I think that's always been the flaw with Sony movies, right? If you take, because there is a Spider-Man movie, there's an Andrew Garfield movie that people like, right? That wasn't horrible. I don't remember which one, but people like it. It like wasn't horrible. And
Spider-Man 1.
if you take Ben Reilly, clone of Peter Parker, Scarlet Spider, and you write it well, you bring an audience into this movie who maybe I don't know who you are, but now I do, and this was dope. And then us comic fans who do know who he is, we're going to watch it and we're like, oh man, that was really dope. And it's Spider-Man, and we understand why there's a second Spider-Man. We get it. We know there's a clone. You understand what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, though, and this goes to what Tom said. You saw Marvel did it. Why can't they just do it? We've seen that Marvel did it, and Marvel did it really well. Now you got a bunch of people who are just hating everything that Marvel does. I think because it's cool to hate what Marvel does now in regards to the MCU stuff. But DC tried to replicate it. They failed. Sony has tried to make successful superhero live action movies. And
You're talking about a movie universe, right?
Right. Well, he was talking about connecting the Spider-Man. Like, why are they not connecting these? You've seen it happen. These people can't get one movie right, let alone a way to functionally bring these characters together. Marvel did it, and the fact that they did it and we loved so many in a row unequivocally, I think that gave people this mindset, oh, it can just be done. And clearly it can't.
Well, it
Marvel
can
had
if you have a like a Feige, because Feige was the key of that. He was the like, look, this is what's happening, and then this, and then this, and then this.
That's
at
what you're
Sony,
missing.
yeah, at Sony, it's just like,
It's
who wants
that.
to make a movie? And they bring some guys in and they make a movie.
It's exactly
But
what
they-
DC did, though. As
But you
soon
don't have
as
to
Avengers
copy the
happened-
movie universe formula to make a movie universe, right?
No,
you don't
you
have to
don't.
just
No, you
copy the formula, which is what they
you've
try
got-
to do and do unsuccessfully. And even Marvel isn't doing their own formula so well now.
yeah, even Marvel threw it out. Yeah,
So
Look,
but,
I don't
but this,
I don't like them, but M. Night Shyamalan did it with Unbreakable and Split and Glass.
I do.
I
like
mean,
them.
I didn't
I don't
like
think
Glass.
they're great, but he created his own universe, and they melded together. Like it made sense. But
Unbreakable's
you
pretty
have
great.
to have. First of all, he's the one guy doing it, so he doesn't have these other minds that he's trying
right.
to.
That's it.
coordinated
You got to
with.
have that focal point.
Well, I'll say one thing.
George Lucas did it.
Unbreakable. I will say Unbreakable is great.
It's
Split was
great.
great.
It's great.
Glass,
Unbreakable.
I don't know. They kind of missed the mark like that. But I will say this: regardless of all the shitty movies that are coming out, that's gonna fail, not fail. This is the best part about all this, you bunch of nerds. We enjoy the ride of finding out if it's gonna be good or bad. We have the luxury as adults here to be able to even talk about these Marvel, DC characters coming out on the big screen. Remember the very first time you saw the trailer for Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and you're going, this is the best thing I think I've ever seen. And then the Goblin and all, you're going, I can't. J-Rob, I wish you would freeze up at times when I wish you really would freeze. You know what I'm saying?
I remember
everybody.
I remember everybody in the movie theater standing up and applauding for the trailer of Eric Bana's Hulk. And I wish I could go back. And slap them off. Like I want to slap every one of them that literally stood up and clapped when that trailer came out. I'd never been in a theater where I saw somebody stand up and clap for a trailer.
It's a fair point that Caesar makes, because like in the old days, guys, we had to talk about Catwoman and Green Lantern, and like this was not a good time. We are in a key time. Even I, like Caesar said, like I hashtag Tom hates everything. Like I'll tell you when I don't like something, but it is sort of a key moment for comic book people right now, because all of the stuff that we know, good or bad, is flying to the screen, and it makes for good chit chat, if nothing else, and we can argue about what I like and what you don't like, and who did it right and who did it wrong, and so there's more value to the movies really than even the movies themselves, and so we got to roll with it.
The one slight counter to that, Tom, we're now at a point where there are comic book movies that are coming out that I'm like, you know what? I don't need to go and see that in the theater.
Oh, I agree.
It's on something, I never thought I would get to that point because of my love for comics and how much whatever. But I did not go and see Madam Web in the theater. I don't have any plan in seeing the second Joker movie in the theater. I don't have any plans in seeing Craven in the theaters.
Why would you deprive yourself of such experiences?
Because I
went to Madam Web wanting it to be bad. Like I wanted it to be so bad, and it was so bad. It was so bad. I was so happy with myself that I got to see this piece of trash. I was like, yes, it was everything that I hoped it would be, and
you're
awful.
The reason that they're making Madam Web the sequel.
there is no Madam Web sequel.
There's no Madam Web sequel.
Ever.
I'm not going to see Transformers.
Oh God,
I'm not either. I'm not seeing Transformers.
That looks atrocious.
No,
I might have to because my daughter wants to see it.
Well, that's a whole different scenario. Yeah, you do it for the kids, of course. But like even with Craven, like I remember when the trailer for Craven came out, and it's like he gets bit by a lion or some shit, gets a transfusion. I'm like, are we doing radioactive lion? Are we doing radioactive lion blood right now?
I love it. I love it. That is such a throwback 80s sci-fi channel.
It's like Manimal, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Manimal.
Hey, hold on. Don't be
Manimal was dope, though. Manimal was dope.
Oh, my God.
But to answer Alan, where he says, I think Kevin Feige is overrated. I think it depends on the writing and who directs it. If you do those things correctly, I think movies are fantastic. Yes, that is true. But you do need someone at the helm to direct. You need that PM. You need that project manager to go to keep you guys on track.
Yeah, but people forget it was Jonathan Favreau.
That's right. Who started the whole? Started the revolution. And someone said it earlier. When you, I'm going to say, I remember where I was when I first saw the Iron Man trailer. When he's flying between the two jets and he hits Sonic, supersonic. I peed a little. I mean, I was knocking down lamps. You know what I'm saying? That's how happy I was. Because to see, well, come on, man, Iron Man on the big screen flying. Why not? I mean, it was such a
and it looked good.
And it looked pretty cool.
Good.
It wasn't blue screen with the black outline. It wasn't Luke Skywalker fighting the Rancor, right? It wasn't on film and all that shit. It looked pretty good, and the movie still kind of holds up to this day.
It totally holds up.
What do you mean?
I'm a grade snob.
Kind of. It absolutely holds up.
Absolutely holds up.
I'm a grade snob when it comes to my Marvel movies, right? When it comes to comic movies, period. I'm the equivalent of a grade snob, and so when I saw that, I was really disappointed.
Really, Dale?
I was really disappointed. I was really happy to see Iron Man cameo at the end of Hulk, because again, I'm a comic dude, so I thought it was really dope. Oh, like we got Iron Man at the end of Hulk. But when I saw the trailer for Iron Man, I was disappointed because, first of all, great movie, period. Right? started the MCU the whole nine. But grew up a Marvel guy. Nobody was asking for an Iron Man movie when that trailer came out, and I wasn't.
Sure, I wasn't
Like,
either.
I wasn't.
I wasn't either.
I wasn't asking for a Thor movie.
Nobody was.
I think that's the greatness of Iron Man. I don't think anybody asked for an Iron Man movie, and then they were just like, you know what, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it with this guy who's this crazy dude who's got this crazy past, and we're gonna put Jon Favreau in here
I was in the
because
theater.
of some reason of Jon Favreau, and people, and I'm like, it was almost at a level of like going all the way back to like Superman, where you can believe a man can fly, right? It's like, holy shit, this looks good. Like, this looks really good. And I was never an Iron Man fan. I was never an Avengers guy. And I was like, all right, I guess we'll go see Iron Man. I came out of that like, dude.
And what was really great about it is they didn't use the popcorn formula, the general tired formula that they always used, where you can kind of tell what's going to happen, how it's going to. It was something totally fresh and new, as fresh and new as it could be.
But
Yeah,
let's be honest.
That's where Kevin Feige does deserve the credit, because he bought into Jon Favreau, who he'd seen did Swingers, and these movies were great, and he directed them and wrote them. He saw you've got potential. He said, "This is what you want to do with a character that isn't what," and he said, "I can build off of this. If we get this and this going, we can do this." And it was his sight to say, we can make all of this work, but do it with something that hasn't been overplayed already.
Right.
Yes.
And Favreau proved he
So
was not a
nobody
one-hit
did.
wonder.
Sure.
Remember? He proved he wasn't a one-hit and quit. I mean,
Look,
the
you're
Mandalorian,
talking about,
you know.
nobody's asking for an Iron Man movie. But you're talking about nobody wanted an Iron Man movie from Marvel. What did you want? That they owned the property.
Yeah,
of.
but that doesn't. That's a loaded.
No,
Let me answer. That's a loaded question. What do I want, or what did I want that they own the property of? Is two different things. I wanted the same thing everybody else wanted, whether they owned it or not.
No, that's not the question I'm at, because they can only make
But
what they own.
you can't dictate my answer. My answer is, if you ask me what I wanted, it doesn't come down to what they own. I didn't want Iron Man. I wanted the same things everyone else wanted. Another Hulk, another. Say again.
I think it was a single question that he froze a little. What that they owned did you want? So that's one question.
But it's loaded. It's loaded, right? Because it doesn't really speak to what I was saying. Like, I didn't want an Iron Man. What I wanted was the same. Captain America for sure. What I wanted was the same thing that everybody else wanted, whether they owned it or not. That's just what I wanted. That's why I didn't want an Iron Man. That's why I didn't want a Thor. Right? Like, nobody wanted that.
But what did you want at that time? What
The same thing everyone else wanted. I wanted a good Spider-Man movie. I wanted a good X-Men movie. I wanted another Hawk movie. I wanted Captain America. I wanted all the popular things that was popular in comics. Iron Man was not one of them.
Well, yeah,
Thor was not one of them.
Think about this. All the stuff that got licensed out was not
their
the Avengers.
Right.
It was not the Avengers.
Right. Nobody wanted Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, these things were good, and they made them good.
Yeah.
They definitely wrote Guardians. No one even was what Guardian before Guardians of the Galaxy movie. You couldn't find the Guardians of the Galaxy comic book. You just couldn't. It wasn't one. After the movie, you got 6 volumes.
Yeah.
After the movie,
these guys made a tree popular. I mean, like,
right?
It's crazy. It's
not
crazy.
Not everybody
the tree
wants that
only says his name.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted another Hulk movie.
It's wild.
After those 3 trash.
What are you talking
I don't
about?
think Edward Norton's Hulk was
Oh,
trash.
I actually
Edward
like
Norton's Hulk
Edward
is
Norton's
good.
Hulk. I
Hulk is
I was
so
bummed
underrated.
when Norton got
Yeah,
canned when
like
they brought in.
you're in a
Rocket.
minority, Jay. Right? Yeah. Did we boot him? Did we put him at the bottom?
No, he booted himself with this.
He's in a minority.
Yeah, and not that it say it's
Nobody
perfect.
wanted to
But
go
I like the Norton one. The other one is really garbage.
Yo,
Norton
J
one
Rob,
is good.
J Rob, I love you, brother. You are wrong. Everybody always wants a Hulk movie.
Everyone wanted Banner's movie.
Like,
as
are you
far from their
serious?
memory as possible. And
Everybody,
the way to do that was by
from
making something better.
now and forever, people still want a Hulk movie.
Yep,
Because
that's why
Universal owns it, and we can't give it. Like, everybody will always want a Hulk movie.
they
bro.
have been.
I'm sorry.
World War Hulk forever. Anything they can to speculate Hulk getting a movie.
Well, you know how popular Hulk is? Everybody wants a Hulk movie, bro.
I will say one thing: what they did with Abomination compared to what She-Hulk did with Abomination, I will take the Edward Norton Abomination any day of the fucking year, because that battle between Abomination and Hulk, I still think is pretty bad. Listen, I like me the Edward Norton Hulk. It's and the very first one with Eric Bana. I remember when I saw it at the time, I was like, this is all right. I can see where they're going with the comic book panels and then this and that.
Sure.
And then the battles. All right. And then the dad, whatever.
Yeah, I'm agree with Jay. Thumbs down.
No. For the time, it was all
Nothing redeemable about the
But
Eric
as
Bana.
you-
I promise you though, if you
Jennifer
can start
Connelly.
from scratch and you say, "Hey, yeah, Jennifer Connelly," but if you can start from scratch and you can say, "Hey, what's the one Marvel movie you want done?" Hulk is right up there at the top. If you had to put Hulk and Iron Man from scratch and say which one of the two, you're gonna say Hulk.
Yeah.
Like every time, every day of the week, you're gonna say Hulk.
If they had an opportunity to do a second Hulk movie, it would have elevated itself. You would have been able to take a really big step up because you already had a foundation of it, but it went away, unfortunately. And I think the Abomination, the only thing that was really off about the Abomination was the fact it was the design, because his head was just basically like a skull head, right? Versus like the weird fish stuff going on. If they had just done a little more design on him and gone all in, I think the movie would have had a different reaction to that finale.
All right, guys. I tell you what, we're gonna move on to the bracket challenge. J Rob, I'm hoping that the hoodie will actually no, leave it on. I think actually it's working on the internet. You might want to leave it on because I don't know if it's the sound waves or the brain waves, but all right, guys, here we go. So what we decided for the bracket challenge, people, is we're going to go with the Spider-Man villains bracket challenge. Now we all know the ASM. We all know Spider-Man. Now I saw the bracket very quickly.
I'm gonna re-up.
Go ahead. I saw the bracket very quickly. There's some characters in there that I'm like, I might have to ask my nerd friend Ish on some of these because I know that fool knows it all. J Rob, I would ask, but it's gonna take him about 25 minutes to answer. So all right, so here we go. So we're going to wait. And at the same time, Frank will be jumping in soon. He said he's running extremely late, and this fool's getting some coffee. So let's go ahead and let's start this nice bracket challenge. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. All right, here we go. See, I know that guy, right? That's Mr. Negative, I think it is. Look at me. I don't even read books. Let me move this stuff around here. All right. So as always, we go based on what do we say here? And we always say something. Ish always has his fucking rules. He does. He's like, are we going based on popularity? Are we going based on
Well, is it? Shouldn't we be voting on the one that we like the most? And that's just
no. That's the whole thing about this. We all vote, and if it comes to a tie, we ask the comments to kind of be the tiebreakers, right? So basically, should we go based on superpowers? Because sometimes if we go based on superpowers, it's kind of not fair, because it's like, well, then this guy is going to win it all because he's the strongest out of all.
Sure.
So why the fuck are we having a bracket if it's it's going to rule it all, right? So what are the stipulations here? What are we going based on? Right? Are we going based on a hand-to-hand fight
in his gallery?
So we're going to go power to power, hand-to-hand, man.
How about just who's the most dastardly? Who's the most villainous and of them been the shadiest and I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Who's been his? Who knows?
Hold on.
If you go by who's the most dastardly and the most whatever, then I think like Venom and Carnage are out pretty quick because they're just what they are. Whereas you've got negative
Norman
asshole over here who's got an evil mind who thinks and does these evil
right. You got Norman who just did him the dirtiest ever.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So let's
slept with this
go
girl, had kids with him.
Man, you go to like the B side, don't you? All right, here we go. This is Mr. Negative. Now, I don't know his powers per se. I know you guys do. Who's the one who knows Mr. Negative?
Healing. He can charge objects. and mind control or some bull crap or coercion.
He
Like
uses
that.
low level magic as well when he showed up in the Strange Academy. Listen, if we're comparing like just and on every level, he shouldn't even be next. It's Carnage.
Carnage wins this.
All right, so we're gonna start with the
Are we
Dwarf on
saying
top.
verse each other like in a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Carnage.
Okay.
Mhm.
So let's start with you, Dorf, and then we'll go down and I'll go last.
Carnage, Psycho, Symbiote, Villain wins.
Okay. J Rub.
Carnage.
Ish.
His name
Carnage.
says it all.
All right. Carnage, right? You going with Carnage-ish?
Yeah.
And Tom?
Yep, it's a sweep.
All right, so I'm gonna go with that as well. Because I too have a vote. You sons of bitches. Don't forget about me. All right,
All
here we
those
go.
Carnage books you read paid off.
It would still
All
be
those-
4-1. It would still be 4-1.
All those Carnage books I paid off. Right. All right, we got Vulture against who is that? Morbius? Who is that?
I assume that's Morbius.
That looks
It
like
has to be.
Moreland.
It's true.
Oh, who do you think it is?
It looks like Moreland.
Moreland.
Yeah, that's
That
not
sounds
Morbius.
like- No, Moreland sounds like a grocer that I once knew.
Yeah, it looks like Moreland though.
But what's
Who
his?
is a murderer of spider totems, period, which Spider-Man happens to be one.
Oh,
I'm gonna put him over Vulture all day of the week.
all right.
Isn't that's
He whoops Spider-Man on a regular.
the head of that family? Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you
Is it
what.
on me?
It's on J Rob. Yeah, because Ish already made his point.
I'm going Moreland too.
Okay. A Dorf.
I wouldn't go Michael Keaton, but I don't think he's an option. So I'm gonna rely on Ish here because I'm not very familiar with that character.
Tom.
Yeah, Moreland, he parallel dimension jumps and hunts down the spiders. That's way better than an old dude flying around the city.
Really old. dude.
See, I gotta tell you, wouldn't
Like
Moreland
80.
wouldn't Moreland like be a pretty cool character to bring into the movies?
Yeah,
I mean,
if
he
you want to
could-
go that whole Spider-Verse route, which you'd have
Yeah.
to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
really, it'd be all the Spider-Verse. It'd be
All right, I'm gonna go with what everybody else says because I'm an idiot. I'm gonna go with more. I'm gonna go with okay, we'll go. All right, here we go. We got
Jackal and whatever they call that.
Jackal's the guy on the right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
What's his powers there?
Really.
Does that,
he's basically just animalistic. That's why he's the Jackal. Just an animalistic guy.
all right.
But
He's got the
there's
claws.
there's a
and,
bunch
you
of
know.
butts to that though. There's some butts to that make him the winner.
Okay.
The butts are his brilliance. He's the reason why there's a ton of Spider-Man clones running around. A Ben Reilly, a Scarlet Spider, because he cloned them. Because he also happens to be brilliant.
But did he not
Yeah.
make this 8-legged spider guy too?
Exactly. He also happens to be very brilliant, not just this animalistic Jackal guy. Like
So-
brilliant. Like he gives
He
Spider-Man
happens
the
to be a
business. on the
Spider-Man
regular.
villain who is a scientist.
Yes, and he gives Spider-Man the business
So
on the
rare.
regular.
So that's the same Jackal from the ASM 129, then, right?
That's the same Jackal.
Okay. All right.
That's the reason
and
he wins right there. First appearance alongside Punisher.
so what do they call this? What do they call this six-armed Spider-Man? Six-armed Spider-Man?
I don't know. He shows up a lot. I think he got his biggest prominence in Infinity War, actually.
Jacko.
He still pops
All right.
up every once in a while.
So are we all agreeing it's Jackal?
The Jackal wins, man, in my book.
All right. We're all
That thing has never beaten anyone.
all right. Okay, we're gonna go with it. Is that a clean sweep, guys? Jackal.
Yes.
All right, guys. Here we go. Next, Doc Ock against
Wife beater.
Is that Vermin? That's
Wife beater.
Vermin.
Is it Vermin?
Yeah, it looks like Vermin, like a very bad
Is he-
version of Vermin.
That's a terrible art if that's vermin.
It is vermin. I had to blow my screen up.
It's vermin. Okay. And what's his situation? Rats?
He's a rat guy.
He's a rat guy. All right. So he's like a little bit of Dell. All right. So we're going to go with either Dell or Dr. Octopus. Let's start with you, Tom. Let's keep the same order.
Are you sure that's vermin?
Yes, blow up your screen. Like make your screen bigger.
Oh, I found another picture that looks like him. Okay, got it. I did a little image search. Yeah, that's definitely vermin. No, this is 100% Doc Ock. 100%.
All right, J-Rob.
I'm going Dr. Octavius.
Okay.
Otto Octavius.
All right.
If you, I mean, I address him as by his last name, not his first name. He's an elder.
So
Dwarf?
they have that Mr. Krantz has a 0 vermin versus 31 Doc Ock.
Yeah, they do their own little poll at the nursing home over there. It's credit to those guys. And you're saying, what are you saying? Everyone's saying Doc Ock, right?
Everyone's
Doc Ock.
yeah, Doc
It's Doc
Ock.
All right.
No one's acknowledging the props.
Who created this?
What prop? I don't even see it. Don't. Once again, it's not my deal, man.
Caesar, you don't see my image?
Oh, I don't. Oh, is that Dr. Octopus?
This is the one from the Spidey and His Amazing Friends cartoon.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
for little kids. This was my daughter's birthday gift.
Doc Ock
Oh,
beats
that's very
vermin.
nice.
Doc Ock beats vermin to death. He does him dirtier than Craven did when Craven beat him nearly to death. He's got adamantium octopus. He beats him to death, man. It's not even close.
Let's change it up here. We're gonna go with Dorf. Ish. All right, Morbius against looks like who's that? The Hobgoblin?
That's the demo goblin.
Demogoblin.
Yeah,
Demogoblin?
That's the least of the goblins.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be Morbius.
Morbius.
Yeah, it's Morbius. Yeah.
It's Morbin time. It's Morbin
Yes,
time.
Okay, that's stupid. Now when I want you frozen, you don't freeze. All right. there
Hopefully,
goes
the
that right
next
there.
round is gonna be where it gets to be challenging.
Why
All right, here
is
we go.
Black Cat on the villain side of this?
Well,
The same reason Catwoman would fall on a villain's list for a
Yeah,
bunch.
she was a bad guy
There
to
you go.
start.
They're the same character. It's just
That's
DC.
Scream.
Marvel. Yes, that's Scream.
Ugh. Ugh, man. Ugh.
Dorf.
I mean, in a fight, I'm gonna have to go with the symbiote. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just where you gotta go. I like the Black Cat character more, but they gotta go with symbiote. So Scream it is.
I'm the same, man. I like the Black Cat character more, but like Scream just smacks her. Like just beats her.
Yeah, I mean, classic Black Cat used to like set up traps and stuff. This is not going to do anything to the symbiote.
But how do you know she's not smart enough to set up a trap for this broad? You know,
Because she'll be dead. She'll die.
Is no.
No.
Symbiote would swamp
Scream.
her. Yeah.
all right, here we go. Finally, Frank.
You got one more person to ask now, Caesar.
Yeah, I have one more person. to
What
ask.
up, Frank?
What's up, Blood? How you doing, man?
Frank
All
the
right, all
Tank.
right.
Everybody,
Frank,
what's up?
so you're thrown in the hot seat. Black Cat versus Scream.
Oh, dang, dude, I don't know. I always go for the prettier one. Now, do you mean who wins in a fight?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, come on. I mean, that's hands down. That's Scream all day,
Okay. Go with Scream.
all day.
All right, next one. Here we go. I think now I don't. Here we go. We're gonna put Ish number one. I can't move Ish number one. Oh, what's going on here? It's fancy.
I'm gonna answer it. I'm number one. It's Tombstone.
I
Oh,
don't
see
know, man.
now.
I like
No,
the lizard in this.
it's the
one, man.
lizard. It's the lizard.
He has regenerative powers. I mean, you can cut his freaking limbs off, and he's.
Okay, hold on. So let's go in order here. Hold on.
Oh, my
All right,
bad,
here we
my
go.
bad.
Here we go. Okay, so let's go with this guy first, Dorf. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, my answer was literally just said by Frank. Lizard will grow back whatever is knocked off. I'm going to go with Lizard.
Okay, Ish.
So I'm next. So I get it. I like what he said about Lizard growing back when he gets knocked off. I'm just gonna put it out there. Lizard just gets beat all the time, regularly. He just gets knocked out. And Tombstone will just knock him the fuck out. Like Tombstone is Spider-Man's #1 villain right now and has been for the past 3 years, like top tier, #1. Because he's ruthless, he plays no games, and he will knock Lizard clean the F out. TF out.
And he's just strong, right? I mean,
Yeah, he'll just and he's ruthless though, and he's brilliant. He's a brilliant crime lawyer. Just knock him right out.
So who do you say? You're still going with Tombstone?
I'm going with Tombstone.
Okay, all right, Tom.
So 3 years of top tier and 30 years of C list for Tombstone. Pass. It's the Lizard. The Lizard all day long.
He's going based on C listing. J-Rob, what do you say?
Tombstone.
Oh, okay. So now we got all right.
I don't think he regenerates once his head's ready.
Okay. Plus, it takes time for him to regenerate. He doesn't just grow back real quickly.
Right. He doesn't have Wolverine's healing factor.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So we're going two lizards, 2 tombstones. Frank, you're going with the lizard.
Yeah, I'm going with him. He's a predator. He's a hunter. He's got the claws. And that's the thing. I mean, I guess we can always go back and forth with which version of Lizard and which version of Tombstone and things like that. I mean, in this particular photo, Lizard looks pretty freaking skinny and scrawny. So I mean, there's all types of lizards, I guess, technically.
Yeah, there are. That's true. There's some really formidable versions of Lizard. Like,
Yeah, that one right
crazy
there.
versions of Lizard.
I'd be with Ish and J Rob on this one. Like what I'm looking at right now, it looks like Tombstone would take out Lizard easily, but you know, a different
I assume we're taking them at what we. I
Yeah.
assume we're taking them at what we know.
No,
is
no,
the most
yeah.
powerful
You're not
version.
going based on pictures. They're going based on what we know about the character.
On that character.
Right, so on the most powerful version of Lizard, against the most powerful
The
version
most
of
powerful
Tombstone.
version, right? So you're still going with lizard, Frank?
I'm gonna still rock with Lizard on it. If
All right, I'm gonna go only because he lives in the sewer.
Did you spend time?
He
in
doesn't
the
live in
store?
it. Let me just tell you that Lizard is a Dr. Kurt Connors. Dr.
Yeah.
Kurt Connors is a
Right.
genius professor and scientist, once again, who also was Peter Parker's teacher.
Yes,
Doesn't
thank you.
live in a
I-
sewer.
I saw the movie.
He might hang out in the sewer, but he doesn't live in the sewer.
Okay.
What
In my
is
mind,
Peter talking about?
I think he lives in the
He
sewer.
lives in a pineapple under the sea. Keep going.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with because okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go with the lizard because I know him more. All right, here we go. So we're gonna go with the lizard. Sorry, guys, it's just the way it is. Oh shit! What happened? Where are we going here? Oh, what happened? We go. Oh, sorry. We're gonna go with the lizard. Cool. All right. The next one is
No.
Sorry,
Go back
There's
down.
one at the bottom.
Where you
one
going?
at
no. I know, but I want to see
At the
the
bottom, you left.
I know you sons of bitches. I know. I'm just trying to see the. I'm trying.
Anti-venom.
I'm trying to-
At the bottom, at the bottom.
It's anti-venom.
I know you douchebags. I'm just trying to make it big.
But the bottom,
Yeah.
though, the bottom.
Here we go. Hold on. Okay, so we did. All right, so we did that guy. Okay, good. All right,
So
here
it's
we
the
go.
Lizard. Uh-oh.
Oh, you motherfucker! You know
You
what?
had it,
All right,
Big, and then
it's
you closed it
anti-venom, or this guy.
But
that a
Venom
Venom-
is
is it
not a
Electro?
villain.
Is that
The
Electro? I can't even see who that is.
It
Yes,
is.
that's
See,
Electro.
Electro.
that's why I want to make it
Oh,
bigger.
not the
Electro.
Jamie Foxx version.
So first of all, anti-venom is not a villain. I want to throw that out there.
Anti-venom is not
No.
a venom. A venom.
He's not a
know.
villain. He's not a villain.
Electro literally controls electricity, man. I don't know.
Fuck! What happened? Oh, you mother.
Yeah, Electro is arguably one of the most powerful.
Where's Dale at?
Spider-Man's rogue gallery, in my opinion.
I mean,
You know what?
I mean, he's a
That's amazing.
badass. And it depends. Like, man, there's so many different circumstances. I hate to nerd out, but it's like, is
Yeah, but they're weak.
Venom-
That Electro is actually their weakness. Those symbiotes.
Yeah,
weakness.
I know, but symbiotes, they have a hive mind. Are we talking, when they control the universe now? I mean,
All right, here we go.
So many different versions, dude. I don't know which.
Well, you
All
got to
right.
look at it as a one-on-one. You can't be
Just
like
just one on one.
it's just one-on-one.
Just one-on-one. Oh, there he is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
Hey, Dale, I thought we couldn't have more than 6 people.
I upgraded our package today just because I gotta be here with all the bullshit on, and Caesar's not running this page correctly. I'm like, no.
No, it's because of a thing. Hey, you're still
And then
sitting
J
in
Rob over there
McDonald's.
frozen up. I'm like, we're supposed to have.
I haven't been frozen.
Look, you
Ah!
just froze. You just fucking froze, J Rob. We have
That's what I
5.5
did.
people on the show. 5.5 people on the show. Like,
All right, Dale, are you in? Are you in now?
yeah, I'm in right now.
Okay, all right.
As soon as you show
Dale said I suddenly feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Actually,
Okay.
I was feeling better a little while back. Like, no, these guys haven't. And then I saw J Rob putting some bullshit about Hulk and this. Like, get the fuck out of here. Where do we get this guy from? Where do we get him from? Rotten
Okay, here we go.
Tomatoes?
J Rob. Who you said Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm going to let you.
Okay, man.
You ain't going nowhere. I'm going this way.
J Rob said Electro. I heard him.
Okay, thank you
Yes.
so much.
And then he had a power issue.
J Rob, next time send me a letter for your answer. Dale, who do you got
Why
next?
would you get a letter? You can't even read. So that's
Yeah.
pointless to begin with. The fuck? I know sign language, J Rob. You can go one letter at a time.
Y'all are going in right now.
Dale, who you picking?
I'm gonna go Electro, just because I feel like he's underrated. Honestly, like he should be able to take down some. He's one of the 6, right? So he's top tier. Sinister 6, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I read shit. Don't look at me like Caesar does. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Electro.
Frank.
Man. All right, I'm just Electro, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Electro.
What's Anti-Venom's? Is he just another symbiote? Is that what it is?
He's Venom, but the opposite.
The opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it literally, his symbiote came. It's literally the exact opposite of Venom symbiote. It came from the Venom symbiote, the whole 9.
Same weaknesses, fire, Sonic, all that good stuff, right? I mean,
Electricity.
You can always like try to
there you go.
during stuff. But,
What do you say, Dorf?
I
can't see
got a
that.
prop again.
Oh, okay. Well, you're as small as.
What's your prop? We can't see it. It's Electro.
It's Electro.
It's Electro.
Okay.
All right. Unlike some of these other people, since I get to answer, I want to say why though. Because Electro is easily on any given day one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. He's essentially Magneto, right? Their powers are essentially the same. Once you get to that level of electricity, he's really OP. And they showed it during Civil War when Norman Osborn broke all the villains out of the vault, specifically looking for Electro to be his top dog. It's Electro.
And the funny thing is, I actually read. I saw a clip it on TikTok.
Wait, you did
that,
what?
That Electro. I said what
Red.
I said. Electro got in a fight with Storm to a standstill.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
OP.
damn.
Really
Yeah.
OP.
That's a crazy battle.
Exactly. If Storm, you could do like stand still with Storm, then full respect. And I don't know how.
Magneto once told Electro that if he were smarter, Electro was his equivalent. Like he's that powerful.
All right.
He's just
Here we go.
stupid. He's just not really right.
I went with Electro because I liked him as a kid in my Spider-Man cartoon days. All right, here we go.
Caesar, I hate to tell you.
Can we get Peter's comment up there because it's just great?
Are we doing
Which
the
one?
entire this side of the bracket first?
The other one above
They
that.
already finished. They already
This
finished.
one.
Yes.
This one.
I just want to say real quick to everyone watching, please take the time to go over to YouTube.
Yes.
Click a thumbs up. If you're watching this on Facebook, go to YouTube. Do these dudes a favor. They bring dope content every week. Go to YouTube. Turn on the video for like 3 seconds. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Then come on back over to Facebook. But take the time to do that, man.
Hold on. Correction. We bring people that know what they're talking about on the show, so they can make us all look better. So it's y'all 3. I'm with Caesar. I'm still. Oh, Frank. Sorry, Frank knows his shit too. But me, J. Rob, and Caesar are the pretty faces here.
Yeah. Well, speaking of pretty faces,
I'm the
first-
hideous chud, so thank you.
yeah, Dorf is our token. Dwarf is our token chub guy. Hey, I will say one thing. Dale, how far are we away from the 70K?
About a little over 150.
We're 150 people away on the Facebook page from going 70K people. You understand? It's all credit to this man right here, Dell, the culinary king, because he runs that page. I do the.
Y'all be getting on that page, and he be gaslighting y'all. And y'all love it. Like y'all love it. Dell is the king gaslighter, and y'all love it. Like y'all love it. He just
right before I got on, I had to block somebody because I didn't have time to argue because I want to get on the show. Like I'm just gonna block him, move on. Hi Terry, how you doing?
Was he trying to tell you not to get rid of Laura?
No, it's something about the Shogun has white people, stuff like that. So.
Yo, Dell will post the most controversial post. He'll be like, I don't know if I agree, but, and then he'll just sit back and be like, and go. And won't say another word. And watch like 300-400 people just argue. It's so great.
There's a lot of notifications. You can ask Caesar. We have a lot of notifications. Every 10 minutes, there's another 50 notifications. And the thing is that I post and like I put my opinion, right? But they don't read. They think that I'm the OP person of the meme. I'm like, that's not me, bro. And then they attack me. I feel the what's it called, bullied. So I just block them. But other than that, it's fun.
It's good, yeah. But so by next week, we're gonna hit 70K. But Dell's the shit. He's helping out with the content, bringing in all those people. Once again, I'll remind you guys, we just started this last year, so we're having it. We're getting it now. We just got to get the YouTube subscribers up. Okay, here we go. Carnage versus Moreland. We're gonna start with you, Ish.
Moreland.
Okay, Frank.
Yeah, I'm with Ish on that one, man. His power is definitely, and he's formidable for sure.
Dale.
I'm going Carnage, bro. Just because the fact that Carnage is one of those characters that really don't like with Spider-Man. You know his limits and what he will do. Carnage does not have those same limits. If he can sneak in here and there, like it's different between him fighting a Spider-Man or him fighting Venom or Carnage or symbiote. So I'm going with Carnage.
All right, J-Rob.
I don't know if they fought any symbiote either character. No, I'm right here.
He's just a couple of seconds. Go ahead and let him be. Go, J-Rob. I can see your words after.
I'm gonna say Carnage too, because I don't know what they do. I know what they do against spider characters, not against symbiotes. I have no clue. So Carnage.
Okay, so 2-2 so far. Dorf.
I am also on the Carnage bandwagon.
Ooh, okay.
Just how I feel. I feel like he would go nuts.
All right, that's 3-2. Tom.
Yeah, it's Carnage in just a straight up one-on-one. Yeah. Moreland has like crazy powers to be jumping times and stuff, but just to actually Dell knocked it right down, because if you're fighting Spider-Mans, you know what you're getting. With Carnage, anything goes. So yeah, Carnage.
Okay. I'm gonna go with, I was gonna say with Moreland, but I think I'm out anyways, because we have what, 1, 2, 3. No, I guess that would be a no, that's it.
No, it's
all right.
It's 4-2 right now.
42. So we're gonna go Carnage. Here we go. Boom. All right, here we go.
He doesn't read or count.
Jackal against Dr. Octopus.
Oh my god.
That's tough. Really tough.
Really?
We're gonna keep the same order.
Okay, let go Franco first. I want to hear what he says.
All right.
Oh, I'm going Doc Ock all day. I always tend to lean towards the geniuses, you know. I think
they're both geniuses.
They're both geniuses.
But Dr. Octopus is on a whole different level, man.
I think you like him because he has an editor.
Frank, you know Jackal cloned Spider-Man, right?
Right, I get it, but I know that Dr. Octopus
Twice.
He's held the world at ransom on several occasions. He's almost finished this planet before, you know. I mean, several times.
So I'm assuming Ish, you're going with Jackal.
That's, you know what assuming does, right?
Yeah.
He makes an
Ass
ass
out of you and me.
But what are you doing? Are you gonna go with Jackal?
I'm gonna go with, I don't know yet. I'm trying to really think about this one.
Right.
We're just talking one-on-one fight.
No, we're talking about Bake Off. Yes.
Oh,
Jafar.
so well, Doctor Octopus has a bit more arms, right? So if we're baking, right? He probably
Man.
no. Doctor Octopus got them adamantium limbs.
True. That is
I
true.
think he wins.
Oh, okay, all right, Dell.
Like this is a good one. This is a good one. I want to see Jackal, and I am going to see Jackal.
Okay.
Like you know how it is. Same thing, same scenario with Billy Carnage. I feel like he can. No, you know what? Fuck. I'm gonna go back. I'm going Dr. Octavius because the only reason Spider-Man can beat his ass is because of his Spidey sense and he can detect all these fucking extra arms. I don't know if Jackal can handle all that. So I know he created some that have multiple, but that's why he's created them because he can't beat them.
So you mean the fact that Spider-Man can lift 10 tons does nothing for him?
No, absolutely not.
Spider-Man always gets Doc Ock by just webbing him in the eyes. I mean,
What does Jackal have? You gonna pee him in the face?
Webbing in the eyes.
that's it.
J-Rob.
No Diddy or something. Nothing.
No, dude.
No Diddy anymore. He got arrested.
That's right. All right. What do you say, J-Rob?
I'm going Doc Ock.
You gonna go Doc Ock?
They're saying go Doc Ock as well.
It looks like everyone's going Doc Ock. Dorf.
Yeah, no one else makes a bowl cut look menacing, so I got to go Dr. Ock.
Yeah,
That's right. Rock Lee.
Yeah, you
Who?
Rock Lee, bro.
I'm done. I'm done with Dell.
Bro, y'all can't tell me, bro.
Who is that?
Rock Lee.
I don't even know who that is.
It's a vegetable.
Yeah,
It's a
But
vegetable.
I was gonna say,
Like, what are we doing? Are we Jay? Are you taking this seriously,
It's a
man?
vegetable?
Are you taking
No,
this serious,
no,
bro?
no.
it's
We're
this tiny
talking
tree
about
that you
anime.
steam and you force your kids to eat.
We're
Man.
talking about anime. You're Naruto. That little kid. Yeah, uncultured swine. Okay, we'll move on.
All right. Dorf, you went with Octavius. Tom.
Yeah, it's Doc Ock. The scientist part doesn't matter. Doc would just stomp on him with the tentacles.
All right. So we're gonna go with Octavius. There we go. Next we got
See that?
Morbius
Oh, it's green.
versus Scream.
Ooh. Damn, that's
Let's hold on. We're gonna go with Tom. We'll go with you first.
Let's go with
Then
Caesar
Dwarf.
first. Why does he always come to the end? Because
That's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. I don't know. I kind of think we have to lean towards Scream here. I mean, it's just a vampire dude, basically. He's strong. He can fly. No, it's Scream. Scream would take him.
Okay, Scream. Dorf.
One of them got their own shitty movie, and the other one was just a little bit part in a shitty movie.
Okay.
But I still think I have to give it to the bit part. So
Okay.
Scream.
J-Rob, I didn't hear the knocking of
Scream.
the pigeon knocking my door. Oh, thank God. I thought you sent that pigeon 3 minutes ago. I was waiting for it to show up. Dale?
Oh, I'm going with Morbius.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
3-1 ish.
Just because
I'm
he
going
has
with-
the same healing powers as Wolverine. He also has his hypnosis, right? So, I mean, those are key advantages for Morbius.
I'm going with Morbius too. I just think Morbius is more is all of the things that Dell said, all of his power set, and I think he just outclasses her. I think he's more vicious, and I think he outclasses her, and I think Morbius wins.
Frank?
Caesar, shut the fuck up.
Man, one-on-one fight, man. I gotta take the symbiote. I gotta take the symbiote Scream on this one.
Okay, so hold on. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 for Scream and 3, and I'm gonna go.
It's
I'm gonna
4-2.
It's 4-2.
Counting again.
I feel like this is gonna come down to if
Is it-
Scream
is it-
wins
is
here.
it
It's gonna be like
4-2?
Scream versus Carnage.
Oh,
There's-
'cause I was gonna
There's
say
7 of
Morbius.
us on here, so if 4 are going one way and you
that's
haven't
right.
said yet,
Never mind.
And even the
Well-
comment section is going for Morbius for Symbiote stream. So
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
she's got distance. I mean, it's gonna be hard to get close to her if she's whacking you around, you know. Oh, this is
yeah.
easy.
yeah.
This is super easy.
This is easy. Is this a clean sweep, everybody?
I,
Electro?
I
Yeah.
think we
Yeah.
can. I think we can
Yeah.
all agree on this.
I mean, Electro's this Electro beats everybody for the rest of the.
He's gonna make. He's gonna
Anyway,
make some.
It's
He's
Electro.
gonna make some. He's gonna make some fried gator out of the lizard, bro.
All right, let's go with
Carnage.
Dorf,
This should be a
Carnage,
clean
Dorf, or
sweep.
Tom.
You just
Dorf.
called two of us. Who's going first?
I'm sorry, Dorf.
I want to go Doc Ock. I don't know how it'll actually fall out, but I feel like he'll outsmart him somehow and get it over with. But it will be a brawl.
Okay,
So,
so you're
who are you going with?
going with.
I said Doc Ock.
Oh, okay.
I
Tom?
think he
Wow.
will. somehow
Yeah, that's
outsmart-
kind of where I was at. It's like, Carnage is going to rough him up, but in the end, Doc will probably figure out a way to pull out a victory somehow. That's where the smarts come in this type of a fight. So I would say Doc.
It's Doc Ock. Keep
Okay.
in mind that Doc Ock, when he became Spider-Man, he was more efficient and more effective as Spider-Man than Peter
Yep.
Parker was. It's Doc Ock.
Because he didn't have nothing holding him back.
Right.
Spider-Man.
He didn't have the moral compass at all.
Mhm.
It's
Dell,
Doc
what
Ock.
do you say?
I would go with Carnage. And I'm
Okay.
going with Carnage, but I feel like Doc Ock can still whoop on Electro.
On Electro.
Huh?
Yeah, so
We got there yet.
we'll go to the next one. But go ahead. I'll tell you why.
If Doc Ock
Go ahead.
walks in with metal, he's done. You better
Yeah,
throw
I
him
was
iron
gonna say,
somewhere.
he's
It's like, what are we doing?
strapped to his back.
Honestly, well, from what I'm seeing, Electro's about to just take the whoever's left at this point. And I forgot we had Electro in the pocket.
There's
Yeah.
a whole nother
It's
side of the
Electro.
bracket, though.
Carnage.
Oh, is there? Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So what's going on?
Carnage.
Carnage. Okay. Damn.
Carnage.
Frank.
Again, this is a tough one. 1-on-1, it would be Carnage, but it's so tough because if Doc Ock pulls out some crazy tech, fire, anything, it's an easy win. Oh man, this one is tough. I gotta tell you guys, I'm gonna go with Carnage on this one though,
Oh,
because from a distance he can just shoot a shitload of freaking bladed tentacles. One of those hits Doc Ock, he's done.
okay. So I already there's like 40 people in here. I mean, I already forgot who said what.
It's 3-3.
It is. So I am the tiebreaker, right?
You are the
I'm gonna-
tiebreaker.
I'm gonna-
this time.
okay, I'm gonna go with Doc Ock because I think eventually he would outsmart Carnage one way or another. He
Yeah,
would
he just
find
has
a way.
one of
always
his
sound
tentacles
brilliant
create
when you
sonic
repeat me.
crap.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is like he would figure out a way to make the
tentacle.
vibrations, and
Yeah.
then that would be it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good for Caesar. All right. Here we go.
When Caesar says the exact same thing as me, he always sounds.
But listen, if Carnage and Doc
Electro.
Ock just bump into each other in an alley, and I'm talking Doc Ock doesn't know his weaknesses, and it's just first.
All
first
right.
meet,
We're gonna.
it's a tough one.
But you're stacking the
go-
deck against Doc Ock.
Huh?
He says you're stacking the deck against Doc Ock.
Electro.
Yeah, this is Electro.
Okay. Electro. Okay. All right. We're
Electro.
all going Electro.
Electro.
Electro. Okay. Tom, Electro, right?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. All right, guys. Here we go.
I mean,
I'll
Same
go first.
order.
I'll go first.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me put,
I'm gonna
this,
go Doc Ock. So what does Doc Ock have on him, right? At all times, spider bots, right? Like little bots most of the time. He's equipped with that. And some of those are force fields, right? This guy's a genius. You don't think he's gonna, make something up just for this encounter? This is me saying Doc Ock would win with prep, like Batman. Right?
Here's this prep time, man.
That's
Where's the
his prep.
comic
That's
book,
his prep.
man? I need to find the
But-
comic book called Prep Time. Like, I've
You
been
don't-
looking
you don't-
for this
you don't
book.
own it?
I've been
Oh,
looking
right.
for this book, man. Apparently, Batman beats everyone ever in this book, and now Doc Ock has a chapter where he beats somebody
You
too.
can beat him though. He's done. The thing is, he's done it before with other people. He's never had a real fight against him. But hypothetically, you're talking hypothetically why he would win. That's my reasoning why Doc Ock would win. But I mean, a random fight, I'll give it to Electro. But if we're talking about, oh shit, you give him like 2-3 minutes of research, I feel like Doc Ock would win.
2-3 minutes.
Bro, that guy
But
is
bro,
genius.
I feel like you can almost say that about. I'm not gonna say everyone, but anybody with
He
enough prep
reaching.
time can
Dale's-
beat anybody.
So,
Reaching.
Frank, didn't you just say that Doc Ock has held the world at ransom at one point, and then you're gonna reverse it?
He has, but he's literally walking around with metal. I'm looking at a Pokemon fight here. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at
What Pokemon?
electricity versus metal. What wins? I'm just talking science now.
And we're talking about
Science.
Pokemon. Most of these Pokemon have force fields, and they have a counter for electricity.
Well,
We
force
can't
fields
go-
plus he's probably got that stuff grounded to some degree, but it's just a matter of the electricity charging through it all. It's just gonna wreck whatever electronics and stuff are in there.
We're
But
talking
also-
about an electric wielder on such a level that we're not just talking about electricity. We're talking about electromagnetic spectrum.
Listen,
Like, we're not just talking about electricity. Like I can shock you. We're talking about electricity in your body. This is why Magneto said you're equivalent to me. Right? They're essentially the same because of what they can do to the electromagnetic spectrum with their power. Like if this dude goes crazy, he could turn the grid off. Dark Ages.
Okay, hold on.
hasn't done that. Okay, I'm gonna hold on. Go
Guys,
ahead.
let Dell say his bad answer because we're all gonna get our chance to respond.
Oh, I already said it. I said what I said.
Yeah.
All right.
Frank,
You know where I'm at.
Okay, you're going Electro. I'm gonna go with Electro because you guys also forget that Electro is also very fucking smart.
He's a god, dude.
He's also he's pretty smart too. Aside from the powers and what everything that Ish said, because I agree with everything Ish says because
bet you
Ish
do.
reads for me. And then I'm gonna say Electro 100%. Ish, you're going Electro.
He can travel through electricity. Doc Ock has to cross the street, man. I mean, what are we doing here?
Hey, Spider-Man has to do the same thing, but Spider-Man beats him too.
He doesn't really beat him.
What does he do? What does he do?
Like read the books.
How many
Yes,
times has he
Dale,
fought?
read the
Like 8
book.
times. And how many
Read-
times has he won? Okay, you know what? I skip my turn. Go ahead, Zerf.
Yeah,
Sorry,
read the
Zerf.
books like the rest of us.
So, yeah, Dell, there's a huge difference between Spider-Man and Doc Ock. One of them has no metal except his web shooters, and the other one has all of his physical prowess is tied to these metal things attached to his body.
He's actually fat and weak.
That can be completely the electricity inside it can be overridden and destroyed by Electro. The magnetic side can use them against him where he can't freaking move. Electro fries his ass and laughs while doing it.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm changing my thing because I don't like the laughter part. But go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, the thing we have to be careful of here with these types of fights is that pretty much all these characters at some point have reached ridiculous levels of nonsense. There's always ways that we can say that they're fucking Dr. Manhattan, like with Magneto. He's like, well, you can get the metal in your body, the iron in your body, and do there's all kinds of wild, just ridiculous powers that these things can be created. I like the idea of Doc Ock can figure out a way to win in some sort of like prep fight. Like, hey, I know I have to fight this guy. Where are we fighting? Is there a water tower I can dump on him? Whatever. But in the larger sense, yeah, it is metal versus electricity, so that's a problem, and it's Electro.
Okay, Electro it is. J-Rob? Oh,
I'm going with Electro.
Election
For the win.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. We're gonna
What's
go
your
with
side right
Electro.
now, right?
Electro. All right, here we go, people. Now we're going all new people here. We got that homeboy and against that guy.
Caesar goes
Let's
first.
go. I'll go first. Sure, I'll go first. Who's that? The guy on the right? Is that the Hobgoblin?
That's
That's
the
Jack-o'-lantern.
Jack-o'-lantern.
Jesus Christ, man!
I have no idea who the left guy is.
Yeah, I don't know who the left dude is. Ish, who is it?
Ish, you know who that is, right? The guy with the
Spider
on his
face.
mask?
It looks like Kane.
No, they can't be Kane.
No, I don't think it's Kane.
I know why you're
That's-
saying
that's
that, but I'm
Kane.
not sure.
The gloves are the giveaway.
Yeah. You're right on that. Let's see. If we can find a black costume.
Tom's our fact checker. All right, I'm gonna go with the guy on the right, with the Demogoblin or whatever you guys call them. Oh, Jack-o'-lantern. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go with
His
that guy
head is a jack-o'-lantern. Why is this difficult for you?
No, well, because I'm old. All right, here we go. Frank.
I mean, I'm going. Again, I don't know who's on the left. So
It looks like
I mean,
Kane
I'm not
Parker,
saying-
clone of Peter Parker.
Wow,
I'm going with my man Ichabod Crane over here.
yeah, okay. Jish.
If that's Kane Parker, I'm going with Kane Parker.
Why? What's his powers? The same as Spidey?
Yeah, but just a little bit more vicious and and kill you-ish.
Tarantula. Is it Tarantula?
I'm gonna find out. I'm looking right now.
You know,
Peter's saying
Silvermane.
It's not
Uh,
Silvermane.
That's not
No.
Silvermane.
No, it's not Silvermane.
Okay.
Well, they shot you
Oh,
down quick.
it's I just found him. Hold on. a
I was
second.
just gonna agree with you, Dale, just to make you feel better.
I almost thought it was Tarantula too at first.
It's Black
Okay.
Tarantula. It's Black Tarantula is who it is.
It's Black
really?
Tarantula. There's
Black
a Black
Tarantula.
Tarantula.
Oh, it is Black Tarantula. Yeah, it is.
Uses his power for the good old pastime of committing crimes to expand his criminal empire.
Oh, that's
Oh, nah, then Jack-o'-lantern.
why it's gonna be black. All right, Ish. What do you say?
All right, if it's Black Tarantula,
Yeah.
then I'm going with Jack-o'-lantern because I've never heard of this Joker.
He's according to the interwebs, he's just sort of a street tough guy. So you got to go
Oh,
Jack.
okay. Okay. Dorf, I'm assuming the same.
I'm gonna go jack-o'-lantern because Black Tarantula's tarantula on his face is white, so clearly he doesn't know what he's doing.
Dale.
Same.
It's like anti-tarantula.
J Rob. Okay. J Rob, you know what? I want you to start saying your answer on the previous, and then by the time we get to you on the other one, it'll be the answer.
Black Tarantula.
He said that with feeling.
Yeah, boy. All right, so we're gonna go with the Black Tarantula. All right, here we go. All right, look at that. We got
It's
Hammerhead.
Is that a
Hammerhead, right? It's
is
Hammerhead.
that a Hammerhead. Is that a Hydro Man?
It looks like Hydro Man.
Yeah, that's
It's Hydro Man.
Yeah, that's got to be Hydro
Okay.
Man. Yeah.
Hey, look at me. Look at the big brain on.
Why?
the
Why did they do this? Who said?
Is that like the
why?
ultimate Hydro Man?
All right, Dorf, Hydro Man, or
Hammerhead's gonna drown.
Mhm.
And that's it. Huh? Okay, Tom.
Thank you, Peter.
Oh yeah, that Hammerhead's not anything. Get that guy out of here.
Yeah, it's like
Hammerhead
Hydro
couldn't
Man.
beat Hydro Man if Hydro Man didn't have any powers.
True.
It's Hydro Man. Actually, I just saw a comment where Hammerhead beat somebody to death recently, so he actually can fight pretty well. But it's Hydro Man.
What's Hammerhead's? He's just strong. is that what it
It's
is?
He's
no
a crime
powers.
boss.
No powers.
He's essentially a rhino, but a man.
He
Yeah.
wants to be Kingpin.
He's just a gangster with a flat head, man.
He can do the best headstand in the history of the universe.
Hydro Man.
All right, I'm gonna go with this guy. Looks like one of those Dick Tracy characters.
Whoa.
He is a crime
Oh.
boss or crime
Flat top.
Flat top, yeah. I'm gonna go with Hydro Man because he has fists of water.
But Dell, can we get a prep time story?
I mean, if you think about it, if he holds his breath and goes full speed at
Oh
him,
my god.
you know, with his head,
if he
He
throws a bunch of sand in there,
If he wears
He
scuba, if he
he
wears
has
scuba gear,
he
scuba
has
gear on over that fat
adamantium,
head.
what's it called, adamantium implant, so he is vulnerable. But water, you gotta breathe. So
Okay,
going
so
for it.
Hydro. Frank, I'm assuming you're going with Hydro.
What? Yeah. What is this? Come on.
Okay, all
Yes.
right.
this is the worst one ever.
That is pretty bad. All right, here we go. Silver
Oh.
Sable
Oh,
against
wow.
Kingpin.
That's actually an interesting one. You essentially have two humans, right? I mean, no superpowers. really
Two
there.
fighters. Yeah. I mean,
Let's
he's got the
go
power.
with-
She got powers today.
Even is
Today,
Literally today, she got powers.
oh, on the new
What are
champions.
her powers?
What are her powers?
She's
Yeah, the
merged.
symbiote.
She's merged with the Agony symbiote.
Oh,
Oh,
She's now the
But-
Silver
but-
symbiote, leader of the
but
League
it-
of Protectors.
but in this battle right here, it's just
Yeah,
throwback
that's
Silver
It's
that's
just
Sable.
not
her.
a that's not a symbiote. Yeah,
All right,
basic Silver Sable.
all right. I guess.
Which isn't really so basic.
No, not at all. But no
what do
symbiote
we-
powers.
Okay, so yeah, we're going just regular people here.
Oh, I get first? Okay.
Yes.
So it's tough, right? Because Kingpin is known for pounding people out, to include Daredevil, who's like one of the best fighters around. Silver Sable's a straight killer with all of the training. Like, she's one of the top
she's a
hand-to-hand
mercenary.
assassin.
spies,
She's an assassin.
assassin mercenary in the world.
Mhm.
This is probably the toughest one. It's not a
Right.
villain. It's probably
Right.
the toughest one so far. I'm leaning towards. You know what? In a one-on-one fight, I want to say Sable, but I didn't see him pound out Daredevil and Spider-Man with his bare hands. I'm
this
going
is-
Kingpin.
This is a battle between strength and speed to me. You know, they're both powerful.
And tenacity.
Sable's got the speed, but if Kingpin gets you close, gets you in a well, anyways, I'll listen to my turn.
Yeah, I'm going Kingpin. His willpower, like his force of will. I mean, he's gone toe to toe with people he has no business fighting because he has no powers, and he's beaten them just on
Okay.
force of will and his sheer brute strength.
So Kingpin for Ish. Frank, go ahead and go.
Oh, okay. I'm second. No, yeah, I'm going with Kingpin. I was stating my case earlier. You know, I think Silver Sable is going to give him a hell of a fight. She's going to. I mean,
Great
if I was
stuff.
her, I'd try to tire him out. It's kind of just like a boxing match, but in the end, you know, I think if Kingpin just gets one
One
finger
slip
on her,
up,
she's
it's over.
done. Yeah, if she starts getting tired, she's done. You know,
It's like Oberon Martell versus the Mountain, right? Like, she just whoops him
That's-
the whole fight, and then he just
that's
snatches her, and
exactly-
it's a wrap. You know what
that's
I mean?
it, bro. That's
It's like
it.
it's a
dude.
wrap.
That's exactly what I had in my mind. That exact battle too.
That's a good one.
So
Okay,
before
George.
we continue, Silver Sable is always with a weapon, though, right? Like
Yeah,
most of the
she's
time,
got
she has
her
a
weapons.
weapon.
She's got gear.
And she
So-
calls in people too, the Wild Pack.
Yeah, she's a leader, right? So hypothetically, if they're going to fight one-on-one, she would have a gun. This is that. Wouldn't that give
Sure.
her more of an advantage? I know
Yeah,
Kingpin.
but
I know who he is,
let's-
but I'm just saying.
But that's kind of like saying, I mean,
I think
theoretically,
Kingpin's nothing
like
but ass.
anybody could have a weapon then in one of these fights.
I mean, Echo shot him in the head.
That's true.
True.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure Kingpin has access to guns too.
But he's never in a gunfight, though. He's always hand to
No,
hand.
I understand. I'm just saying the Kingpin has access to guns, if you want to say. But look, all of
I
that's
get you.
fine. Silver Sable is an incredible fighter, whatever. The thing
with,
about Kingpin,
with prep time, right?
it's not just that he can, if he gets his hands on it, he can take a pounding
Yep.
Yeah.
like nobody else.
That force
But
of
if
will of
he
his.
dishes out his shot and connects with her, one or two of those, and as great of a fighter she is, she can't withstand that impact like he can of her repeatedly beating on him.
Mhm.
So I got to give it to Kingpin just because he can take the beating like nobody else.
All right. Okay.
He's not going to be able to outfight her as far as skill, but everything else, yeah, I'm with you. I agree. He wins.
So
Absolutely.
three Kingpins. J. Rob.
Silver
Speak slowly.
Sable. Silver Sable.
Oh,
Hmm.
Silver Sable. Tom.
See, the interesting thing about the arguments is all of them say if he gets his hands on her, and that's the
that-
trick to the whole thing.
Mine didn't say that.
Thank you.
Mine did not say that.
I don't think he engages him.
We could run the video
in
back,
that
but you
fight.
you did say that.
No. I said
If
she
he gets
can
his
beat
hands
on
on
him
her,
forever. The one or two hits that he connects, and he will get a hit.
but
him.
that
She
but
still
that,
has
that
to be
goes,
within
but
an
that
arm's
goes back to if he gets his hands on her. She doesn't have to be anywhere near him to start her attack. Like we just talked about, her weapons, her guns, she's got her throwing stars. Now, whether or not that's going to have lasting effect, that's the real question here. Because like has been said, dude is tough. Dude can take some shit. But she literally doesn't have to be anywhere near him to continue her fight against him. He has to find her, whether she's sniping him from the top of a building or whatever it is. She has the ability to just wear him down over time. and so I think that's her sole advantage here, because yes, if he gets his hands on her, done.
So you're
There
going.
is
But
no-
I
there
think
is-
the, but
there
I
is
think
no
the premise.
physical-
He does.
I
there's
think
no
the premise
physical
is.
fight here to be had between her and him.
But I think the
Um,
premise is they're standing toe to toe, right?
Well,
I'm-
the premise is they
It
do
does
what they
say that.
do, right? And
Yeah,
so if they do
exactly.
what they do, she takes off, runs up.
She doesn't
high,
get close.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think that you're right. I think this is a really, really interesting one. But solely because of we know what he can take, that might be too much for her to put him down. I'll take Kingpin.
see,
Oh,
I'm-
after all that, I thought you were
Yeah.
going Sable.
It's solely, yeah, but
And Tom, you completely
degree,
agreed
yes,
with my
but it's-
justification.
like in my head, I'm just assuming each of these people are just meeting up in an alley. Like it's
That's
just-
what I assume.
like. It's just Kingpin turn the corner, Silver Sable, and it's just on from there.
I'm
There's-
gonna
So
go Silver-
I thought the same thing, but I agree though with what Tom is saying. But I think that what we know of Silver Sable and even Black Widow is they would run up and fight Kingpin
I think
because
would-
they assume that they have the edge
Yeah.
on them hand to hand.
yeah, they can strike and move and be fast, but he can take too much. He can take too much.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go Silver Sable because she's too fast for him, and I think eventually within time she would just wear him down. I think he's got the diabetes, and she has more energy than Kingpin. So I'm gonna go
Who's he,
Silver Sable.
Wilford Brimley?
So
That's
So-
right.
it's funny how I'm gonna be the last one. I was defending her, and I know how powerful she is, but like it said, if they're meeting up randomly in a building, whatever, like one room, he will win, just because she is cocky, right? And like he said, she will come up to him, one hit from him, and it's done.
and
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
take Kingpin
don't sleep. Kingpin's fast too. He might be big, man.
for
He's
Big Boy,
fast.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
really fast. He toe to toes Daredevil and Spider-Man.
Worked up.
I just did it again. All right, sorry guys. But did you see who that was? You stupid. fuck.
I didn't know either of the two.
Yeah, I don't know who any of those guys are. To be honest.
That's Jaundice Boy, and I don't know
Jaundice
who else it is.
Fuck.
Are you sure this is the Spider-Man villains? Why do we
Yeah.
not know? Are you sure? Is that Molten Man who's not in Molten Man form?
Oh, that
Oh,
could be. That could be. That's a good
That's
call. That's a good
point.
call.
And who's the guy with the things coming out of his shoulders there? He has, and his legs.
Oh,
Maybe
I can't
that's
remember
Tarantula.
him.
You know what? I bet you that's
No,
Tarantula.
No,
Not
that's not
Beetle?
Tarantula.
No, that's not Tarantula.
That's not
not
Beetle,
Tarantula.
man.
That's the Fabio Tarantula. How do you know I can't be the fucking new?
Alistair Smith. There we go.
Alistair
Peter.
Smith, there we go.
Who is
Yes.
it? Alistair Smith. Thank you, Peter. You fucking nerd.
Mm.
And who's the other
Peter.
guy?
Peter,
Well,
then
Peter's a
who's the
big
other-
Spider-Man guy. Who's the other guy?
Peter, then who's the other guy? Smartass. Who is it? Mr. Allison Smith.
And what did that make
Alistair
you,
Smith?
Caesar?
It's
I'm
actually,
a- I'm a
it's actually
genius.
Alistair Smythe.
You are
Oh my
all
God.
wrong. These are the guys who lose to whoever they fight in the next round.
And they lose to each other. This is a draw because they both just beat. They just
All
they
right.
suck.
What did he say? Don't know the other guy. Ah, Peter.
So he's the son of Spencer Smythe, the one who created the. Oh man,
Alistair Smythe, most notable adventures of the Spider Slayers.
Spider Slayers. There we go. His dad is the one who built those, right?
Okay, so Tom, any intel on the Gold Man there, Booster Gold?
I don't know the Gold Man. I'm struggling on the Gold Man.
It's not
Okay.
Molten Man.
I mean, that's a great
He's from
guess.
District 1 in the Hunger Games. He's
Can we do a Google picture search? Can somebody snatch that picture and like Google picture search it?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Gibbon? No. it's not.
now I
That
just
is
Yeah,
want
Molten
to know-
Man. That is Molten Man.
It is okay. That's what I thought. It's Molten Man without his
Okay.
because
Okay.
of the gold. Yeah.
Okay,
So it's just
He looks a little scrawny, but yeah, okay.
I mean,
All right,
Multiman
so-
is serious. All right, anyways.
what do we think now? Okay, so Tom, let's go with you.
I mean, Molten Man, from what I recall, he's basically like Hydra Man, but he's like a lava dude, right? He's just like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, molten.
like literally like lava kind of stuff.
And sometimes metallic these days, like mercury.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't know that a dude with big shoulders is gonna hold up against lava so good.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna take Molten Man.
Okay. I'm gonna make this quick. I'm gonna go with Molten Man. Booster Gold
Molten
Junior.
Man.
Okay. Frank.
Isn't Alistair Smith, or what was he not handicapped also? I don't know why I remember him being handicapped.
According
He
to
is
Alan,
after
Alistair
fighting with a
I'm
guy
looking
made
at
of
at
lava.
least 6 handicaps on him right now.
Yeah,
according
mean-
to Alan, Alistair Smith was Kingpin's former assistant.
Yeah, and I think he was forcing his father to do work, or I mean, there was something to it. Either way, I'm going with Molten Man on this one.
Okay.
I'm still trying to remember who this guy is. I remember him, but I can't.
You know, my problem is, and I was just reading Molten Man book recently, actually, and my problem with Molten Man is that he's just such a bitch, and he is like just a whiny bitch. Excuse my friend, I'm sorry, he really is. And it's like he wins these fights because you can't really get close to him, and it's not really because he's skilled. I'm going Molten Man, but I hate Molten. I just hate his personality. Hate him.
Oh, I'm with you on that. I think this is like the battle of the D class, like real, like down there, you know.
J. Rob.
Molten Man.
Molten Man. Dale.
I'm going with Captain Planet. I
Yeah.
know that haircut, bro.
Look
I
at
know
this dude, man.
that haircut.
Oh
That
my
is
god.
Captain Planet. You cannot tell me that is not Captain Planet.
Wait a minute.
He's our hero.
That's Alistair. Is he at? Oh, he has snakes. Is that what that is?
No,
You know what? We can call it that.
Well,
This is a
picture
real bad design.
horrible, design.
I'm going
All
with
right.
Oh,
that.
this is even
Oh,
worse.
my
This is
God.
even worse.
Dude,
What
They hated
the
this
hell?
stuff, man.
they put that thing in here, the fucking
What?
big wheel.
What is that? What is that thing?
That's the big wheel.
Huh? What the fuck
That's
is
the
it?
Is that the
big wheel.
kangaroo?
It might as well be.
It. Oh my god, it could
Wow. Is he wearing boxers?
Yo.
He
That's
is wearing
gotta be-
boxes. Polka dotted,
Wow.
polka
They
dotted
really,
boxes.
they really dug deep into the well.
All right.
I don't even
I'm
wanna
at a
vote.
loss for words because
I'm not voting on this one.
Caesar, just pick one. Move on.
I hope they both take each other
Okay.
out.
let's go with
be. It's got to be the
because
kangaroo. Yeah.
Let's go
I
with
think the
the
kangaroo
box-
jumps over the big wheel and wins.
Okay, let's
That's it. He jumps over it.
Shocker
Ooh,
and
who's that dude?
he looks like something out of Final Fantasy or
The
something.
red one?
I don't even-
It looks like Grindel, but with a different mask.
Ringmaster.
Where's our
Worked for
spider?
Barnum. He
Ring?
started out at Barnum and Bailey's.
Man, you're an idiot.
I,
Peter, who's the guy with the who's that dude? Because I have no idea. But listen, I'm a Shocker fan. I've always liked Shocker.
I bet you are.
Yeah. True. Very true.
Two in
I'm
the
gonna
beat,
go.
one-
I'll start first. I'm gonna go with Shocker because I know Shocker. I don't know who the fucking scuba guy is over there. He's wearing like a deep sea helmet.
This poll is stupid.
That's just somebody that got designed because somebody likes anime. I mean, that's all that is. That's tuxedo mask with like a spear.
This is just
like-
stupid. Like they
Yeah.
pulled
Like a-
some Spider-Man villains that
It's-
nobody did.
Yeah.
You're not Spider-Man villains.
Everybody just say Shocker.
Shocker.
All right, we're all
Yes.
going Shocker, right?
I mean, I'm biased. I got Shocks tatted on me, so
All right.
Nobody say I'm going with the guy with the messed up tux.
Oh my god.
All right, here we go. The
Spot.
spot.
And who the hell is that?
It's Beetle. It's his daughter. The second Beetle. Yeah, the
Oh, that's-
second Beetle.
oh, that's Fetal.
That's his daughter. The current,
Alright, well,
former Beetle's. That's actually not the Beetle's daughter. That's Tombstone's daughter.
That's Beetlejuice.
We'll go with you. We'll go with you first, Ishii, so you know so much.
I'm going with. Oh man, I'm going to go with Beetle. She's just brutal.
Oh, the daughter of a tombstone. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, Dorf.
that's Tombstone's daughter.
What's her powers?
I mean-
just other than flying around.
she's got that armor, which is like
Yeah, it's like
Iron Man armor, and she,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Honestly, I don't like that. I'm going to eliminate Spot in the first attempt because I think he is super powerful, but I don't think he can get through her armor. Like he can show up in 20 different places, but he's not going to hurt her. So Beetle.
Okay, I'm gonna go with what the nerds say. So, Frank, what do you say?
I'm going with Spot, man. He could simply toss a spot at this chick, and she's in a different dimension. She could be in outer space, and that's it. I mean, it's just one little toss. And again, if depends on what Spot we're talking about, not the fucking clown we saw in the movie, but.
Oh,
Tom?
the spider was called Doppelganger.
What?
Which guy? The guy before?
Yeah,
guy
the one
before
with all
this
the
one?
arms, the Spider-Man with all the arms and the teeth.
Spider-Man with the arms. Yeah.
Tom, what do you think?
That was a fair point to like toss her in a spot. That's a fair point.
That's what he does.
Yeah, I mean that's hard to talk. That's hard to not just roll with that. I like that. That's outside the box. That's like punching the Hulk into space. So yeah, we'll go with the spot.
I go with superpowers over no superpowers.
All right, so that's 2 Spot and 3 the other one. Okay, J-Rob.
Beetle and her Mark V armor.
Okay, that's all we needed. Dell,
I'm wearing Spot.
Beetle.
he's still
Oh
talking.
shit, he was still talking. My
Yeah.
bad.
I think he's going with the Beetle, right? Man, he's got Beetle. Yes,
Yeah, he's
okay,
got Beetle.
thank
He's
you.
got Beetle.
All right, and you're going with Dell.
Spot.
Okay, I think Beetle won, right? But you're going with Beetle as well.
Dale's going with
I'm
Spot.
with Spot.
Beetle
No
won.
one with
We'll go with
Spot, and Beetle still wins 4-3.
4-3. Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
Black Mask, right?
No,
It's the
that's the
world.
chameleon. Isn't that
Oh,
the
it's
chameleon?
Chameleon.
That's
Sorry,
Chameleon?
first Boomerang. Yeah,
Boomerang and chameleon.
Boomerang and chameleon.
this is dumb.
This is
Everybody say boomerang.
boomerang.
Come on, let's go. Skip it. Boomerang.
Boomerang. I think Chameleon would win because
Boomer
he could-
sooner.
I think Chameleon wins too.
Me too.
Chameleon?
Yeah.
I was going
What?
to say Chameleon also.
Well, that's late.
No, don't worry, he's
this-
gonna lose regardless.
Hydro.
Hydro Man.
We're all going Hydro here.
I'm
Yes,
going
he puts the
Hydro.
jack-o'-lantern out.
Okay.
Superpower over no superpower. Well, Jack-o'-lantern is kind of superpower. Wait, hold on.
Oh shit.
Wait, hold on, because I guess we're
Hold
past
on.
it already. I could have made a case that Jack-o'-lantern could have thrown some sort of electricity at Hydro Man, and then. Anyways, that could have been a case there. Anyways,
Well,
we're
Jack o' Lantern is fire and Hydro Man is water. So
well,
Yeah, we
he's
know what
got
happens
other. He's got a
He does,
plenty
but-
of weapons.
he does, but a big sploosh kind of handles a lot of that right off the bat. It's a quick fix. It's like the spot.
Hydro Man is
throw him into a
super
spot.
dangerous. It's not just water with Hydro Man, right? We're talking about solidify. We're talking about pretty much the same thing you get with Sandman. Like really, Hydro Man is really dangerous.
How is that guy not on this list?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Good or
That's a
Caesar
good
picked
point.
this one.
We got Boomerang and no Sandman.
We didn't
Venom
get-
was
we didn't
also
get-
not
we
on
didn't
this
get-
list. We had every
didn't
other
get-
symbiote, but no Venom.
Yeah.
Where's
How did
Green
we get-
Goblin?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Who
you guys
did
got
this
the
list?
one with Green
Don't look. Hey, don't kill the messenger,
Caesar?
man. We just picked.
No
Every
Green
bracket-
Goblin.
Any bracket I would have chosen, you bunch of bitches would have.
No
cried about it
Mysterio.
anyway. I'm just saying. All right, here we
So-
go. Let's start with Dorf, and then work our way down. All right, Dorf, you go with you
Molten
first.
Man.
Molten
I
Man?
mean, you can take a pounding, but I don't know that you can withstand lava.
The way you
So-
said that sounded funny.
I think I have to give it to Molten, even though I don't like him, just because he's lava, and lava melts fat.
Okay.
You
Frank?
give him one of those epic shot. That's what you're saying.
Well, with enough prep time on this one,
Yeah, right. Shit.
That's the thing.
uh,
Molten doesn't need to prep; he just is.
I'm going with Multiman. I was totally kidding. I mean, Kingpin can hit him, but I mean his hands are gonna hurt after that, right?
I agree. I think Multi-Man will be multilicious. There you go. Ish.
Oh yeah, Multiman.
Okay. Tom.
Yeah, it's kind of a disgrace that we have to use this image of Molten Man, but yeah, it's Molten Man. Yeah,
J Rob.
he's asleep. He's asleep.
And
Ain't nobody sleep. Multi-Man.
Here's Dell. Well,
Dale.
No, I've seen Volcano. I've seen Dante's Peak. I've seen what happens with people that try to jump in lava. You know what I mean?
Let's see Dante speak in Volcano. All right, so we're gonna go with this
Go
guy.
Molten Man.
All right, Shocker
Yeah,
against
but
the
Tommy Lee
Kangaroo.
Jones beat the volcano.
That's true.
He survived.
I'm upset that the big wheel didn't make it through, but
Wait, I was gonna say, how did we still have Kangaroo around, man?
I'm
Kangaroo.
gonna get out on a limb right now, and I'm gonna say Kangaroo.
What the fuck?
You know what? I will say one thing because Alan did bring up a thing. If the Shocker loses his little fucking things on his little his little chingaderas, what does he have?
He's
That's all
like
he
poor
has,
man's
right?
Electro. He's literally
Right.
poor man's
yeah,
Electro.
but that's the same thing with the kangaroo. If you knock off his robot tail, he's just a dude.
But we could say that about everyone. We could say that about Carnage.
That's right. That's it. That's right.
Carnage loses.
I
his
just think the
symbiote.
Kangaroo beats
That's
Shocker
crazy.
in this fight. I think he just jumps on him and kicks him in his face, and Shocker's beaten.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, who cares, right? The Shocker's so weak, and the Kangaroo's so weak. Like, who cares?
Okay, all right, Ish. So you'll say Kangaroo. Frank,
I'm
what do
just
you
gonna
got?
say Kangaroo.
I'm going Shocker. I think just again they're 10 feet away from each other. Draw. Shocker blows his ass away, and that's like the end.
I'm gonna go with Shocker because he has a cool
That's
outfit.
Shocker.
Dorf.
I'm gonna go with Shocker because Caesar likes one in the stink.
You son of a bitch. Thomas.
Shocker.
Jake. Rob.
Shocker.
Rocker. We don't have Rocker. We have Shocker and Kangaroo.
I think he said Hawker.
I said Shocker.
Oh, Shocker. Okay, Dell. Rocker.
I would go for Shocker, and I think that's Shocker 2. I mean, Kangaroo 2.
Okay, so
That's not
Kangaroo.
the first Kangaroo. It's the second one.
Oh wait, so Shocker wins.
Yeah, Shocker won.
He does. I'll go with Kangaroo.
Ooh,
Oh, Beetle.
Beetle.
We're all going Beetle.
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 Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're
This
getting.
is like they cancel each other out and just are like they're both.
Hydro Man.
Hydro Man for sure, because he can actually control water. Multiman can't control shit but himself.
All right, hold on. Okay, Ish. Hydro.
Oh, sorry.
Hydro Man.
Tom.
Molten Man. Lava turns into more lava, and then turns into land. He could just collapse on top of him. It's Molten Man.
Yeah, the thing is though, Molten Man doesn't project it. He just is it.
He is it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but just keep going. Just
But remember, Hydro Man can hit him from distance. Multiman has to get close to him. High water pressure, you're getting blasted away.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he just turned him into like
Getting sandblasted
stone.
or what?
He just turned him into like stone and then
I gotta
smash him to
tell you,
pieces.
I keep going one way, like, oh, I'm gonna go, and then I hear other cases, and I'm like, oh, but wait a minute. So I'm gonna go with Hydro. I was with you, Tom, until the other asshole spoke up, and then I'm like, you know what? I got it. I think I'm gonna go with Hydro. Dorf.
I'm definitely going Hydro. He will put him out. He will turn
Frank,
him to stone.
I'm assuming
Yeah,
you're
to
saying
stone,
Frank
right to
Hydro?
stone and smash him.
it's Hydro Man again. I know they're both super powered, but Hydro Man is literally able to control the most powerful element on this planet. So it's Hydro Man all day.
J Rub.
Hydro Man.
Okay. Good. Dale.
I'm gonna go with Molten Man.
Doesn't
Doesn't matter what I say though, because,
Yeah, why you sound so sad, Dale?
because I mean the fact that nobody brought up that he does also have radiation, and that's in an area, right? I mean, we're gonna go the same thing with Kingpin and Silver Sable. Like we had to be in a room,
Yo, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to make you mad.
I'm just saying, if we want to, put that.
Feel like you coming
Yo, Dale, I didn't know you like Molten Man so much.
Yo, Dale is passionate right now. He's mad. He like, it doesn't matter what I say. Like,
it's good. It's like it's so one sided. I'm like, give this guy a chance. He's an underdog.
he's like, give him a
Fuck
chance.
Molten Man.
He had a chance.
They both
You
found
had
And
the
they were
powers.
turned
accidentally.
stone.
They both found the powers accidentally.
Yo,
So-
Dale, you should make that picture of Molten Man your avatar.
Not that one. Like, I should-
Okay, here we go. Before we continue on, I must say it is very odd that we're talking about ASM supervillains, and you're right. No Sandman, no Green Goblin, no
Shocker.
Mysterio,
Scorpion, Mysterio,
Scorpion, I mean,
Venom.
come on, man.
Venom.
God,
Mary
unbelievable.
Jane.
All right, guys, here we go. J-Rock,
Right.
Shocker or Beetle? J-Rock.
Beetle.
Dwarf,
Beetle.
Dale,
Beetle.
Good night.
Tom,
Beetle.
France.
I'm gonna go with Beetle on this one.
It's Beetle.
Ish. I would have gone with Shocker because I figured how much electricity could she stand on that
You
metal
want
suit?
this thing?
Yeah, you know.
So,
All right.
I don't know. Does he shoot electricity or is it like a sonic blast?
It's like static, pretty much.
I don't think it's just.
It's like electrolyte.
It's like-
Super
it's
light.
like- it's like
Super,
electrolyte.
super light.
Oh, you're saying he's Jubilee, pretty much.
All right, here we go.
Hydro. Hydro Man.
France.
Yeah, Hydro Man all day.
Oh, you're way down there. Sorry, I skipped it. Dorf.
No, you just switched it right after you asked.
Yeah, I did. Dorf.
Yeah, Hydro.
Yeah,
Hydro.
we're all going Hydro. Tom.
Molten Man.
I'm
Hydro.
assuming it's Hydro. France. Hydro, right?
Yeah, Hydro.
Ish. Here we go.
what I say. But I'm gonna say Beetle.
Fuck you, Robin Hood.
Ah, that doesn't matter what I say. Okay, so we're going with Hydro. Oh, that's fucking funny.
Hey,
All right, and now we're getting to
Oh,
the
I've been waiting for this one. That's fucking it, bro. I was
shit.
wondering.
Okay,
if
let's
this
go
was
with
gonna
you
happen.
then. Let's go with Frank. You start
Me
first.
first? Oh no, it's Electro all day. I mean, it's Electro, but yeah, great battle. I mean, it's Pikachu versus Squirtle right here.
Squirtle wins.
Dell.
Damn. I'm gonna go with Hydro Man on this one.
I want to hear from the chat, man. What is the chat thing, man? Let's get the chat woken up. Man.
I
This is
think-
great. This is a great duel right here.
I think they both die, but Electro takes his last breath last. So he wins.
Wow. Wow.
So here's the thing, right? This is kind of deep superhero nerd shit. But like, if you ever watch lightning hit water, sure, it kind of blows up the water, but the water's just still there. So it would depend on how much you're doing to the actual whatever physical element is still remaining of Hydro Man, however much he turns himself into water and so on. You know, the electricity can affect that, affecting like it's weird. Like he's water, right? But he still has a heart and shit. So you would think that the electricity would still be able to get to his heart. It wouldn't necessarily hurt his body though, because water is water and it would just reform. But so the question would be kind of like what you just said is, if the water and electricity hit each other kind of at the same time, it's going to short out Electro and it's going to, run through the water. So I think you're right. I think it's just simply Electro would take that last breath.
Okay,
Yo,
so
is water wet?
I'm going with Electro.
Hell no. It's dry.
So
Electro-ish.
to speak to what Tom was saying, because that's very interesting, right? So I like to have these conversations. I just want to analyze that real quick because I think this is the super to be on anyway. So two things really quick. Does water actually short out Electro, or is he still Electro? Even like electricity, water conducts electricity, right? So it doesn't like make electricity go away. And then the next question is, if Hydro Man is water and it is conducting electricity, does Hydro Man just die in any state? right? Like in any state, as water, can the man withstand electricity, be it in any state, water or as in flesh, right? Does he just die because thousands upon thousands of watts of electricity are just coursing through him in any state?
So according
I think
to
it's electro.
yeah, according to the interwebs, if you are prepped with a superpower water gun, soaking electro is a way of stopping him. So water would have some effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he is a superpowered water gun.
Here's a spoiler alert. And Hydro Man dies when he comes into contact with Electro during an attempt to kill Spider-Man. Spoiler alert. Electro wins. I mean,
That's why I said, does he just die by coming
Yeah.
in? Because he's still a human. Even though that water, he becomes water, that's still him. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yep.
So Alan just beat me to the. Alan literally just beat me to the punch. I say eventually he'll just steam away. I mean, you know, with electricity, he'll just become vapor and then go into the ether. And
Well, that's dope. And Alan's been saying some really dope stuff most of the night. But here's the thing about Absorbing Man, Hydro Man, and Sandman. When they turn into their other states, they are able to reform. Right? Like when Hydro Man turns into vapor, he's able to reform. When Sandman was turned into glass, he was able to reform into, like, they're able to reform when turned into other states.
And again, it all depends on the timeline we're talking about, because each of them can become, you know, godly. Like Iceman is super OP because he can literally control, you know, all the water molecules in the air. I mean, it's like it all depends on.
Yeah, Iceman's on a way different level than they are, though.
Yeah, I know, but what I mean is they're all on this godlike level, you know. So it's really tough. It's really good because at the end of the day, do they really have a body? I mean, if Electro has a body, he has a heart, he has a brain, all this stuff, but he's able to pretty much manipulate himself just like Hydro Man can into an element. I mean, how many times have these guys been taken out and they just come back? Because I mean, do they really have a body at the end of the day?
And it's crazy though, because when you do the comparison, right, of the three that you mentioned, Hydro Man actually is the most limited, in that his limitations aren't many, right? He doesn't. Sandman has much more. Like Sandman is almost like immortal, right? Like Sandman is literally almost immortal, and while Electro isn't, Electro's powers have really no upper limits, with the exception of his own brain capacity.
He can travel at the speed of light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's electricity. So, I mean, like, again, in that battle, I mean, it's just, he can just be anywhere all at once.
It comes, well, I don't know, maybe Ish, you called it, but Electro ended up winning the whole thing because, let's be honest, I mean, he's godlike, and I mean, he's pretty much a badass. So normally we take this show for 2 hours, but look at that. We went over a half because we talked about an hour about the whole Knoll thing. We didn't even talk about the Agatha.
Oh shit! I missed that all.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're out there gallivanting about, but we talked about the whole Knoll thing, and then we didn't even have a chance to talk about the Agatha Harkness show that's coming out. I think tomorrow, is it? Or
shout out to Alan. Shout out Alan and Peter, man. Y'all been dropping some really dope comments, by the way. So shout out to both of y'all, man.
They got the shit.
I know we're signing off soon, or that's what it sounds like, but who the fuck said it was okay to give Agatha Harkness a show before so many other well-deserved heroes and villains?
Me.
She's a side character at the
WandaVision.
Me.
Yeah, that's the whole reason.
Me.
I'm with it.
God, why?
I'm with it. I want to see it.
Me.
Why?
So, Frank, I'm going to tell you why. Because I like Disney using obscure characters to push Marvel projects. Like, I like that as Disney's platform, not, theaters or what have you, but just Disney Plus as their platform. Yeah, I like it.
There's just so many other projects they could have put money into. Again, I mean, there's so many other well-loved.
Yeah, but it's not like Agatha just came out of the blue. She's a spinoff from the WandaVision, which did really well. So they had WandaVision. People liked Agatha. People liked Catherine Hahn. It's an organic next step versus like just pulling something out of thin air. So
I mean, listen, they did Werewolf by Night. They could have expanded on a fucking Man-Thing series. I mean, they could have. I mean, there's
but that speaks exactly to your point, right? Who greenlit that? And you enjoyed it, as did I. You know what I mean? Like, who said, let's do Werewolf by Night? It's great because of Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody knew about Guardians of the Galaxy before it came out. Obviously, nobody. Oh, I want that first appearance. Like it just became good. Honestly, and with Agatha, I think I posted right. Ish, you were commenting that there's about you got what's her name, Moonglow, right? Which is part of Mephisto entourage. Which you if they're smart, they will like expand into that, right? That's my thing. So I'm
We're
hoping.
never getting Mephisto, dude.
I'm not saying we're gonna get him, but she was also what's it? I go was it with
Coming, we're getting him.
So
He's gonna come out in this show.
They've been teasing Mephisto. They've been. Listen, that's going to be the running joke. 10 years from now, we're going to be like, yes, Mephisto. They had the Mephisto Easter egg.
Listen, I'm gonna say this much about the Agatha show. Am I excited about it? Not at all. Do I think it's gonna be good? Absolutely. Well, I have to live with it like everything else in my life. Definitely.
but I got to ask you about that, Frank. Why is that your option? Like, I got to live with the show that I think is going to be good. Like, why don't you like if you think it's going to be good? Like, that's dope.
Because it's Marvel, it's Disney. I mean, it's gonna be good. I mean, they got a great company backing them
most
up.
of their shows are good. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna tell you. I think probably 90%, 85-90% of all the Disney Plus shows have been fucking fabulous in their own ways. Like, you know, whatever it may be.
Let's pivot to this. Like what Peter is saying. Who would think that Penguin would have been good? Like so far, the ratings and all the reviews have been really solid.
Oh,
right?
I forgot.
A Penguin show would have been anything.
I gotta watch it.
It's dope.
I gotta watch it.
It's really dope.
I'm looking forward to it, but I completely forgot it came out.
Did you like the Batman movie that it spun off from?
Say again.
Did you like the Batman movie?
It's interesting, right? And it's interesting, and you got to take what I say on this situation with a grain of salt, right? I didn't hate it. It was one of those movies that I was like, okay, this isn't a great. In the same way that Batman Begins was much better after the rest of the trilogy came out. You know what I mean? Then you're like, okay, this movie is phenomenal. Now that you have so I know that there's more pieces to this, right? That are gonna make me look at this first movie and appreciate it even more. What I did appreciate though were those scenes that Penguin was in. Like I appreciated many of the scenes in that movie that weren't just Batman scenes. Like a lot of these scenes in that movie that just weren't just here's Batman. So
the only reason Daredevil was watchable was because of Colin Farrell. Like
I was gonna say, who thought that the Bullseye?
Colin Farrell is great.
He was great as Bullseye. He was.
I was watching Electro while you guys were watching Bullseye, so I don't know.
So I have.
He was watching Jennifer Garner while we were watching Colin Farrell.
How many of you guys? So that's the case on Frank's point, and how many like
Kingpin was good too, though.
I care less
Michael
about
Duncan was a good Kingpin.
Marvel. Disney is going ahead with Ironheart. Are we all looking forward to Ironheart?
I am.
No.
I am 50-50. Honestly, like 60-65.
I am.
Oh, you know what? But the only thing I don't like is that they're gonna go with Ironheart without going for supposedly Armor Wars is gonna be. That's a good series, and I see other comment section. What's Armor Wars? What the fuck is that? Y'all don't fucking know what you're talking about then. That's a good
because
series
nobody
right
read that boring
and then
crap when it was a thing in Marvel. It was just boring. Armor Wars, I'm sorry, was boring. Nobody was following it. I'm sorry. There's no one in the comment section that's going to say they read Armor Wars.
We have 4 people.
Because they didn't.
That doesn't count.
The value to Armor Wars has nothing to do with the comics. It would bring back all the Iron Man-ish tangential stuff that the movie audience already knows. It brings back Rhodey, War Machine, all that kind of crap. So it would have some value in that sense. The adaptation is irrelevant because the people that are watching the movie, you're right, they probably didn't read the comic. So that's not relevant. But bringing Rhodey back and giving him his movie and doing it was going to be a TV show and then it was a movie and now it's supposedly either that or Blade is being canned, one or the other. So
well, they brought him back in the Secret Invasion, Secret War, whatever that thing was.
But wasn't he what's it, a
Skrull?
Yeah.
Right. So
are we gonna get Skrull Brody? Are we gonna get real Brody? Or what's gonna happen with that information?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, what do we have against an Ironheart television series?
I have nothing against it.
Nothing.
But one thing I do is that they are you know it's not even their fault because we're gonna get Ironheart before we're gonna get a Blade movie, and we've been excited for the Blade movie, right? It's never gonna happen. I think we might get Spawn before we get Blade at this point. So
Yeah, maybe.
But Ironheart was announced long before Blade was
Oh,
announced.
Ironheart was announced. I think,
wasn't
2 years
Blade
ago.
like what's it called? Talked about at the end of Eternals.
Yeah, but Ironheart was announced before that.
Yeah,
before
but
Eternals was a movie.
we already had the idea of, oh shit, Blade might come out. We're gonna see Blade before the whole Ironheart situation came out.
No, Ironheart was announced before Blade.
Ironheart was announced. It feels like years ago, and then we got her in the Black Panther movie.
Yep.
And it's trying to hype her up for her own TV show. Then they heard it got canceled. Then they didn't get canceled.
I'm not excited for Ironheart. I'm 50-50 when it comes to Blade because I'm just really worried that they're gonna fuck up what I remember and what I hold to heart of Blade. I mean, it's already been proven that they can't get a director, they can't do the casting right, and it's like, you know, at this point, if they need to take, you know, as much time as possible to not fuck this up, man, take as much time. I'll get GTA 6 before Blade, and I'll be happy. Man.
I tell you what, who would they use as a villain for Blade?
Morbius.
Dracula.
It would be Dracula. It would be
Dracula.
It would be Dracula probably,
That's what I'm thinking, right?
or Lilith, or
Lilith.
You know. So for me, I could care less about a Blade film, but I'm around for all of these Young Avengers Champions films that, you know, are relevant in comics. That, like, I'm around for that. If you want to do the Young Avengers, I'm here for it. If you want to do Champions, I'm here for it. I don't need you to keep giving me Avengers. Like, we had 20 years, almost 20 years of Avengers.
The thing is, they don't know what they're doing. They haven't used America Chavez in the movie. So, and talking about that, there was a tease that she might be coming out in the Agatha show. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to too. So if they're going to do it,
a ton of Young Avengers running around Marvel Universe.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not too familiar with all these younger characters, so it's hard. It's super hard for me to connect with this new Marvelous. Like I don't know. I don't know Scar. I'm not.
Yeah, but you know what's the alternative, Frank? Do we keep getting Thor?
I don't know.
Do we keep getting Robert Downey as Iron Man?
What I could say is that you can go, and I know this sounds really ridiculous, but you can go back in time. You don't have to keep going forward with the timeline. You can go backwards, use different characters. It doesn't have to stick to this multiverse that we have now, you know, where we have time travel, we have all these different dimensions. Just go back to a simpler time and just a different year. Different country, whatever.
Didn't you just also say you have no interest in X-Men 1?
Yes, he did. I remember that.
You had no connection.
I've been holding it against him since he said it on that show weeks ago. That's my man. Break is my man.
You said you have no connection to this new stuff, but you have no connection to the back stuff too.
He said, no. I said X-Men. You know,
X-Men number 1. What's more iconic than that?
It wasn't looking forward to it. Could care less about it.
You're saying the whole Silver Age is just X-Men 1.
I'm just saying, you say you have nothing attached to the beginning or this new stuff. Isn't X-Men in the past? I'm just saying, you can't say you're attached to the old
Fantastic Four.
I love Fantastic Four. I'll say it too. I don't enjoy reading Fantastic Four. Some of it's good. Some of it's
it's hard to read.
It's
so I want to say something. I want to speak to something.
I'm gonna be honest. My favorite all time, like if I'm sitting down reading, I can read Batman. I can read Punisher. I could read, you know, there's just different things that I enjoy. You know, just simpler reading to me. I don't know.
I'm gonna say something.
I think when you get these big team up, I'm sorry to keep interrupting.
No, you're fine.
When you get these big team ups, it's just hard for me personally to follow. Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, like some of those where you just got so many different characters and so much going on. It's hard to follow sometimes for me personally. It's me. It's just me as an. Do I love X-Men? Dude, I think they're badass. Gambit, Wolverine, Nightcrawler.
It's not you. It's me.
It's not.
So here's the thing, though, Frank. Some things that you mentioned, right? You got to look at some things, right? Like when you look at this movie universe that Marvel created, where they kind of wrote themselves into a corner, so to speak, right? So they created a universe. And it's a now a universe. It's not just this thing where like with Batman every 3 or 4 years we could just here's a new Batman franchise. You know what I mean? Or it's like a universe that progresses. And many of the people who watched this universe were kids when Iron Man came out. They were kids. They were 10 years old when Avengers came out. They're in their 20s now. And their kids are now starting, 20s and 30s, and their kids are now starting to watch this universe. And the other thing that they did was they cast these characters that, like, Thor is going to get old. The guy who plays Thor is going to get old. The guy who plays Iron Man is going to get old. Captain America, these people are going to age out. And what do? On top of which, we also want to use these movies as platforms to introduce people to these books, where these characters, we're starting to make the characters look like the people in the movies, the whole nine. So, yeah.
No, I mean, I get what Marvel as a franchise, as a company, what they have to do. They got to make movies, they got to make shows based off of the product that they're releasing. So,
I'm sorry.
That's always
that was always the issue with Marvel when they started doing these live action things. Is we knew we were probably going to get about 10 years out of all these actors, and then what do? Now, like you were saying, they do have younger characters like the Young Avengers and so on, but even then, that's going to age itself out at some point too. So that's the advantage I think that DC has, is that they have already just rebooted everything over and over again, and they can just be like, well, we'll just make a new franchise. Whereas Marvel is stuck and outside of using the multiverse to recast, like they did with Fantastic Four dude. I don't know what his name is, the guy from The Office. They can go into different places and use different actors. They can monkey around with it, but there's a limitation to the value of the multiverse too. So it's going to be a tricky situation for Marvel in the next 5 years, even. Because you're going to run out of all these dudes that you're using to bring. It's like, oh, he's coming back for Secret Wars. He's coming back for Avengers. He's coming back. It's like, yeah, but eventually these guys are not coming back.
So,
what do you do then?
You know what you do is you bring in Doom as Robert Downey Jr. as Doom.
Anyway, Dorf, I interrupted you earlier, so you want to say what you wanted to say?
I just wanted to respond to what Frank was saying before, how like he doesn't know these young characters. He doesn't have the investment in them, whatever. So my question is, how much did you know about Star-Lord, and how invested were you in him before Guardians?
Not at all. Not
exactly.
at all. And I'll tell you,
didn't mean they didn't knock it out of the fucking park.
I only liked Guardians of the Galaxy 1. The other two were fucking shit to me, in my opinion. So
the second one's really bad.
The second one's really bad. The third one, I fell asleep in the third one. I think there was 1, maybe 2 action scenes in the whole fucking movie.
The second one has one of the best, most emotional scenes in the entire MCU for it to be a bad film. Yeah.
I think the third one
I kind of like certain parts of the second one.
When Yondu died.
Yondu? Sure.
The entire Space Galactic Guardians came. That was dope.
That was awesome. We got Sylvester Stallone in that second movie.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, that was
bad movies can have good moments, but
it was a great moment.
The good moment doesn't necessarily make the movie good.
Yeah, it wasn't a great movie.
My favorite part.
You're right. It was a great scene. I never believed that dude was going to die. I mean, that's like Uncle Ben, right? Like this dude has not come back.
Yondu?
So yeah, Yondu. So I was really surprised that they pulled that off, and I gave him props for that because I was like, you know what?
I didn't miss Yondu. It was like when he died, I was like, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, but it was the send off that he got that just
the
moment.
That was cool. That was really nice that they did that. But like when he died, I was like, okay. Again, when we got Yondu, I was still kind of like how we were talking about Shane being Punisher. So I still had this dude from what's his name from Walking Dead in my head. Like all I can see was this fucking asshole from Walking Dead painted blue.
John Bernthal is phenomenal as the Punisher.
I love how they brought Yondu back though in the Christmas special, right? With the cartoon, they did the animated version.
Shane Yondu.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that Christmas special was better than both Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and
that Christmas special was it blew donkey balls. That Christmas special.
I fucking loved it.
I love to
I thought it was just corny. I thought it was ridiculous.
I thought it was awesome.
Did you watch it with the subtitles on, Caesar, and that's why?
Yeah, because I didn't read it. So I was
That's what
just
it was.
all. It was like watching J-Rob on the show. I
Hey,
was just all lips.
Get the
moving.
closed captions.
I mean, it
My
was
point-
corny, but lots of Christmas stuff is corny. I mean, it's
My,
that's
my point is about, again, the new Agatha show, man. I hope it nothing for the best. I'm sure it's going to be a knockout of the park. Do I think Disney can figure out a way to give us new shit and still sprinkle some shit in for the old heads and stuff? Because, you know, as comic book fans, I mean, I don't know how many people are keeping up to modern books also. So it's also kind of a way to bring, you know, they got to figure out a way to bring in a new crowd and keep the old crowd around also. And again, and I still think that they can do those projects where they either do shows where it just means nothing.
We're
Like,
supposed
just,
to still continue having Thor and Hulk, at least, right? Because they still have a couple of movies in their contracts that need to finish. So,
Yeah.
But a lot of this is going to be based on what we see with Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four is going to be the new catalyst of what
but-
we're going to. Oh, I just read that. Thank you.
It's-
Is that what you're laughing at the whole time? Now?
No. Here's the thing about Fantastic Four. Is it too little, too late? Like they weren't here, like when it mattered the most. You know what I mean? Like with the Avengers and all that. Are they gonna come in and kind of hold down Marvel for us now?
They're the anchor beings.
I would have really loved to see freaking, you know, Reed Richards freaking hold it down when Thanos was here during the Avengers days. I mean, he was super key.
yeah, but
key
now
in
we're
the
getting
whole
a
Thanos.
whole new level of this because we're getting the new villain now with Doctor Doom. We're getting the Fantastic Four.
No,
We're
I
getting
get
the
it, I
Secret
get it.
Wars. You know, so they could theoretically be the Avengers now for
how
the
many
next 10
characters
years.
would be in that one?
I
though?
think Reed
60
Richards
characters,
is
right?
going to ultimately be the villain,
Oh yeah, what was his name that you were telling me about?
the Maker.
The Maker. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason why they put the Fantastic Four in an alternate universe. This particular Fantastic Four in an alternate universe, especially when you're doing Secret War and God Emperor Doom and what happened with that universe and what it ended up happening. It ended up happening, leaving Reed Richards still one of the biggest villains across the multiverse to this day. In the form of the Maker. In an alternate universe, Reed Richards is what we're talking about, right? We're not talking about if MCU is Marvel 616. That's not who we're getting. That's not the version of Fantastic Four we're getting.
Right.
We're getting an alternate reality version of the Fantastic Four.
Right.
What I'm waiting patiently for, boys. I'm loving Marvel. Marvel's my shit always, but I'm really still sitting on the edge of my seat waiting to see and shake it up and be like, yo, DC, wake the fuck up already, man. Let's get a DCU going already. We were so close. I'm every day I wake up, I'm like, please, give me something over there, guys.
I mean,
Well,
we're gonna wait until Superman comes out, and then we're gonna see more or less what the future.
yeah.
Maybe
See,
with James Gunn.
and that's the part I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that when Superman comes out, we're gonna go like, yes, finally, now we see the James Gunn miracle and the magic for the future. Or we're gonna go, fuck, DC, here you go again. You know,
Which one are you
Superman,
afraid of?
Superman. I really am. I don't know what else can think of that shit.
I
think
will
there's-
not go into a DC movie expecting anything positive until it happens.
Oh, I did.
That's why I enjoyed Batman Begins the first time I saw it. And yes, I think it got better over time. Dark Knight was incredible. Dark Knight Rises dropped the ball tremendously.
Listen, I walked into Wonder Woman expecting what I got from part one.
Oh, man.
I was feeling some type of way because part one was
Let's
just
talk about
awesome.
that.
Like, it was
Part
really
one-
awesome.
Part one is
Amazing.
still to me. I'm not gonna.
Amazing.
Part one, first Wonder Woman to me is still badass, and to me that battlefield scene with her walking,
Yo,
to me it
yo.
gives me
I'm with
goosebumps
J-Rob.
sometimes.
It was
That was terrible.
Well, Wonder
was
Woman.
terrible.
Wonder
Wonder
Woman
Woman
was
was
terrible.
Wonder Woman
The
was
first
good
Wonder
until
Woman
the
was
final
terrible.
fight. The final
Yeah.
fight, as usual, DC drops the ball in the final fight.
Oh
the
yeah,
final
yeah,
fight.
yeah.
Your
Yeah,
third
talk
act
about
final
kind of
wiping out a
pulls off.
badass character from nothing. That villain
Yeah.
is one of the biggest villains. And
I-
boom, bye Aries, nice seeing you.
But once again, to quote you, Tom, right? You know, a bad scene does not make a movie good.
100%.
I'm sorry,
I like
a
Wonder
good
Woman.
scene doesn't make
I like it.
But the end, yeah, it was.
I
what
thought
it
the
was.
movie as a whole was okay. I didn't think it was anything amazing. It was
So,
very
J-Rob, But now you're making me think, J. Rob. If you think Wonder Woman was
agree with
terrible,
Or
so what do you think was fucking phenomenal?
I mean, not his internet, but we can go on from there.
Wonder Woman was man.
No, I know, but what was good?
We
What
asked you- yeah.
in your eyes? What was your movie that was like mind blowing and
For
Or you're asking him for a particular, like a movie or a scene?
a
from that
particular?
movie?
Yeah, but we want to know J-Rob.
I
Who said
know
Wonder
it's
Woman is
J-Rob,
so
because if
terrible? Like, what
if
is?
Wonder Woman was filthy and just nasty and just bad, what was
So,
your?
he said it was
good-
man.
I know, but he said no. He said it was terrible.
No, he said man. There's a difference.
No, he
between
said
man and
terrible in that term.
The last thing I heard he said was man.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
he
it's the
then,
internet that's drawing it out, though.
Look,
he,
he's
he
giving us the
agreed with
halfway.
me.
Yeah, he said it was, so
afterwards
you're
that
changing it because we all heard you say it was
Yes.
terrible.
He did say it was terrible at first.
Right.
Fine.
We all heard you say terrible.
All
J-
right,
J-Rob,
all right, Jay, I'm with you.
J-Rob,
I'm with
so-
you. I'm with you. What's your
J-Rob,
favorite?
so-
Yeah.
I
uh,
no, when I saw her running across the doggone battlefield from the tree, that wasn't a good scene.
All right, J Rod. I was with you for a little bit, and then you lost me now. Yeah, he said it was terrible. He said it was terrible, man. Get on his ass.
All right, so
That was
what is a mind blow? What is a good? What is
wasn't a good scene?
so? What was a good movie? Phil, like we want to know.
Yeah.
We want to know what your bar is.
And then we're gonna roast it. No, I'm kidding.
Come on,
we
J-Rob.
had
Oh my god.
That's it. On your left. Cancel me, really?
Oh shit, that came
Oh.
out super fast.
Damn.
Come on,
Damn, cancel culture.
J-Rob, you're killing
All
me.
right, I
Yo, as
think
quickly
it's
as you say it's terrible,
You
can we,
have
like,
the end of the end game.
the what?
I just told you. You have the scene on end game.
Oh,
No,
the
that
last
wasn't
scene of
terrible.
Endgame?
J-Rob,
great
they're not
scene.
talking about a scene.
Yes.
They want to know your opinion of a movie, of a superhero movie that was great.
We've been asking a
Just
movie,
said
man.
what scene.
We
He said
okay.
what
I feel like you dodging. I feel like you playing dodgeball right
I'm not
now.
dodging.
All right, a movie.
Well,
And don't say Winter Soldier because there's already somebody. Just another.
Winter
one.
Soldier.
Oh,
Come on, man. Come on, dude. Yo,
J-Rob,
bruh.
Yeah, I think he's missing a lot of what we're trying to say, and vice versa.
I think he's purposely missing it because he's very clever and intelligent. I think my man is
No,
playing
I ain't
internet
missing
dodgeball.
nothing.
Okay.
I ain't missing nothing. Had one
Okay.
first
All
one
right,
only
well-
had one good doggone scene, and it had the little her as the little girl. That was it. The rest of that movie, it was downhill from there.
All right. Dell has a question
I
for
said
you. It's
what I
right there
said.
on the screen.
Read the thing.
How are you
there.
going to ask me a question, and then when I give you an answer, tell me you can't use that answer?
No one said you couldn't use the answer.
He said,
That was the
yeah, he said you can't use Winter Soldier.
We said
answer I gave.
All right, you got another one?
Wait.
All I can say is that's not a wrong answer. I mean, Winter Soldier was.
It's the best one.
I'm not gonna say it's the best one.
Not
I was
Winter
not
Soldier
expecting.
before I said it. I said Winter Soldier, and then y'all was
yeah.
It's
I
because,
gotta
it's
tell you.
because you're lagging out, so all we can hear you say is Winter Soldier.
I'm so close to doing Morse code with you, J-Rob. This
J-Rob,
close.
hey Ish, how far is J-Rob from you?
He's closer to you than he is to me. Like literally.
J-Rob, where you located?
Colorado.
J-Rob, where you located?
Oh, Colorado, yeah.
J-Rob, next time you do the show, come to my house and you can sit next to me because that's the only way we're gonna fucking listen to you.
Yo, but
I'm gonna go hard.
There's entertainment
hard.
purposes to this though. There's entertainment
But
purposes.
you're absolutely. Even Alan's like you're falling asleep waiting for his answer. My man. All right, guys. Listen, we went.
I
almost
gave
3
you
hours.
the answer. Y'all just think
Yo, J-Rob, you're so far behind us right now.
J-Rob.
We had moved on.
J-Rob, once this is over, go to YouTube and don't rewatch the whole thing, but go to the last 30 minutes and you're gonna see what the fuck we're talking about. And I bet you your reaction to rewatching us is still gonna be lagged.
Yo.
I guarantee you.
J Rob, it's time for you to
There
finally
is
tell
no
us
lag
who
on
wins.
my end.
Beetle or Shocker?
Yeah, we're still waiting for your answer.
Not waiting. I said Vito. You know what?
Yeah, we're still waiting for your answer. That's fucking funny, man. And now he's okay. All right, guys. All right. So Dow's in the background. I think he's messing around with some stuff. Okay, I left so you can talk. Can you actually, J-Rob? Can you actually speak? Say something. Can you maybe because Dell left?
Yes. Can you hear me?
No.
Is there a lag?
It doesn't.
It's a
Yes,
lag,
still
yeah. It's a lag.
You hear me
Yo,
now?
man, what kind of internet you got, bro?
Dell, you could just come back down. Doesn't matter.
You got like Madam Web's, like, Sony Madam Webnet. Like, what's going on, man?
That's the worst.
Can we do a little bit, a little poll right
I
now?
want to have no problem backstage.
Yes, you did. You were freezing backstage before we started.
Go ahead.
J-Rob, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want to see how long it takes you to answer. And it's whoever gets it right should get a free ASM 129. So, J-Rob, what is a good movie that is not Winter Soldier? I'm gonna say 6 seconds. What do y'all say?
Well,
I'm listening.
Oh, that was 3. I lost. Sorry. Never mind.
I didn't hear what he said. What did he
I didn't
say?
hear what he said though. He didn't say. He said. I got.
Did he say Hulk?
I think he said Hulk. Eric Bana.
I think
that's
he
what
said
said.
Eternals.
Oh.
No, wait.
Face.
Damn, you fucking mean Caesar. Let's
Man, and I didn't even do that.
Let's do it.
Did you say Iron Man 3?
Oh man,
God.
I think he said
Clearly, he
Iron
said
Man 2
Marvels.
was worse than
Marvels.
3.
No, I think he. I think he said.
Secret
what's it?
Invasion, that's what he said.
Catwoman.
Oh my
Was it
God, I
Catwoman?
keep forgetting about Secret Invasion.
He
Catwoman.
said Black Widow.
I still have
Catwoman.
not seen the last 2 episodes of Secret Invasion, and I'm not going to.
Fuck, I forgot about Black Widow also, man.
No, Black Widow wasn't too bad. Black
I think
Widow-
I heard him say Green Lantern.
Madam Web?
Ooh, Green Lantern was.
Ish, that
Madam
hurts
Web.
me right here.
Catwoman.
You like Green Lantern, Dorf?
No, it's just my favorite comic book character of all time.
Oh.
Movie
You
sucked.
cannot survive Catwoman. If you watch Halle Berry from beginning to end,
Holy
Oh,
shit,
you
that's a
know,
bad
I've never
movie.
seen it. I've never seen that.
Catwoman is atrocious.
Never
Catwoman-
saw it, but would watch it on mute.
Oh,
I mean, Elektra's worse.
Oh,
I never saw
Yeah,
Elektra.
that's
I never saw
Electra's
Elektra
worse.
either.
Electra's
You're
worse.
saying, you're saying Electra's worse than Catwoman?
It's
Yes.
worse. The
Yeah.
dude had the tattoos that came off his
Yeah.
back. It was so bad, man. Just
We
it
should
was
do
just-
a
I was
bracket
it
with
was
the worst comic movies.
Electra's
we should
worse.
I don't know, guys. There was John Carter. Did anyone watch Carter?
I don't mind John Carter.
Yeah, that
I
was
don't
Yeah, I
not
didn't
mind
either.
John Carter.
I didn't mind John Carter.
I don't mind it. I don't mind John Carter.
I mean, I want to watch it
Yeah.
again, but I don't mind it.
Look at
Yes.
J-Rob. Look at
Are y'all
J-Rob.
serious?
Yeah, John Carter's fine.
Okay, what are we talking about, J. Rob?
we
Which
go.
one don't you like?
Here we
Which
go.
one do you
We
like?
didn't say John Carter was great, J. Rob. We said we didn't mind it.
I said
He
in my-
hates John Carter.
Oh,
He hates it, and I understand why he hates John
Virginia jump.
Carter. Yo, you see how quickly he can. You see how quickly he can thumbs down a movie, right? But when you be like, "Yo, what's good?"
Yeah.
All of a sudden his internet stops working.
Look, since we're on the topic of terrible movies, I didn't see
She-Hulk.
it. Did anyone here see The New Crow?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I
Oh,
haven't seen it.
How was it? How was it? Oh, actually,
It was
Tom, yes. How
it was so bad. It was
Oh,
so
no.
God
so
damn it.
bad. Like, oh my god, I can't
Oh,
even.
man.
I can't
That
even.
sucks to hear.
It's so bad. Like it is.
It's
See,
not
that's
even.
what I'm scared they're gonna do to Blade, man.
It's
That's
so
what I'm so scared
beyond
they're gonna do that shit.
pointless and I mean, it's a reimagining of the source material. Yeah, it's not the source material. It's so bad.
And I
it's so
love
bad.
the original. I love the original.
Oh, you'll hate it. You'll hate it.
The
I guarantee you,
Crow.
you'll hate it. Guarantee you'll hate it.
I
And I'm not even a big lover of the original. Like I was open
The
to like, okay,
original
what is
was
this
terrible.
thing?
Hey,
But
just don't
let's-
spoil it. Just don't spoil
No,
it.
no, I'm not
I still
spoiling
wanna
anything.
watch it,
But like, I was like, okay, show me what this is. What do you have here? Because I actually had watched the other. I had never seen the other sequels before, and I watched
Oh,
those
me
two, and
neither.
I was like,
Either
God damn, these are bad. There's one with Ed Norton, not Ed Norton, sorry,
Edward
Eddie Furlong called Wicked Prayer. It's holy shit, that's worse than this 2024 one. But the 2024 one, it just has no sense of what it is, what it's doing, who its characters are. It's just not. It's not good. It's not
So
good. at all.
even with the Crow movies being terrible, I just want to clarify that this current movie is not a remake or a part of the original Crow movie. They're trying to
No, it's literally
use
what
the
they
source material,
right. But what they say is it is a reimagining of the source material. So
right.
it's still Eric Draven, it's still Shelley, but the characters are wildly different. The situations are wildly different. Yeah, and again, I won't go into spoilers.
Is there anything redeemable about it?
I mean, it looks good. Like it's filmed well, you know.
Special effects?
So whoever the special effects are fair. They're
Action
fair.
scenes?
They're fair. They're not going to embarrass you.
So you're talking more writing, more storytelling.
The storytelling. Yeah.
Now,
Storytelling.
is it okay? So how do I put this? So say you're somebody new to Crow, right?
Which is
If you're
everybody's
a
new to Crow.
virgin,
No,
like,
but you know what I mean. Like the OGs that have seen the originals, the OGs
Then you'll hate
that
it.
have read the comic books.
You'll hate it.
You'll hate it. But that's what I'm saying. If you're new to Crow, like
The
hey, I never
original
read a
was
fucking comic, I
terrible.
never-
Oh,
Oh
shut
my god! Hey, you gotta go, man. You gotta go, dude. That's
So just to be
I'm
clear,
sorry.
there are no real Crow OGs except for movie fans because nobody read the book.
Nobody read the book.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
It's true. Well,
But
and
what I mean is
I've
if-
even said this. I don't think that the original Crow didn't do particularly well, but I think that the reverence for the Crow, the original movie, comes from the fact that Brandon Lee died. If he hadn't died, I don't think it would have had the cultural hit that it's maintained over all these years. I don't think it's a terrible movie, but I don't think it's a great movie either. But people connect to it directly through Brandon Lee.
And it did something different. It was new.
It was a different
and it was
type of
different.
hero thing at the time.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
100%.
but again, my
100%.
question is, if somebody that did not ever watch anything, did not even know it was a comic book, they just
Right.
went to go watch the movie, would
Yeah.
they enjoy it?
That's what I'm saying. If you're just a virgin on it and you don't know anything else, and you like action movies, it probably come out of it with it was okay because there's some action in it. You know, there's some sword fights.
No, because that's what I'm wondering. Like, I always wonder how a movie is compared to someone who
Sure, and that's a very valid
You know
thought
what I'm saying?
process. Yeah,
So-
people come into something like, for example, the last Halloween trilogy that came out. I'm a huge Halloween fan. That trilogy was the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever watched. As far as like a remaking of horror stuff, that was garbage. But I know a lot of people that came in that were not Halloween people. They were just like, this is a new thing to me, and they were like, oh, I thought this was really cool. So everything is context, and if you're an OG Crow fan, you will hate the fuck out of this movie. And if you know nothing about the Crow, you'll probably just be like, as an okay action movie.
So you would recommend for someone to say, hey, Tom, which Crow movie should I watch? The first one or this remake?
If you've seen neither,
Neither.
Jesus,
Watch
that's
none of them. Stay sane.
Damn,
and watch neither.
God damn.
Stay sane and watch none.
It would depend a little bit on the person. Like if they were really young, I would say probably watch the new one because their sensibilities will be there. If it's an older person who grew up with 90s movies and just never saw it, I'd probably say go back and see that one.
Because
So what do you put the new Crow over Bloodshot?
Oh,
well, you know, Bloodshot was not as
Oh
bad, guys.
God. I agree with you.
Okay, we're good.
We've had a lot of
We're
really
better.
bad movies.
That's a really hard rate. That's
Considering
really
the
hard.
fact what they did with Bloodshot. Now I'll say it again. Once again, maybe I'm thinking of some cool parts. There are some
Maybe.
cool parts. Once again, cool parts does not make a bad
Make
movie
it-
good. You're right.
Right. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's
when I
hard,
think of
man.
Bloodshot, I think of the cool parts. I'm like, oh,
All right, so I'm going to put 3 movies in a category
might-
for you, Tom.
okay,
Hold on, Tom. Let me make it easy for you.
Okay. Go.
Mortal Kombat, the most recent one.
Okay.
Bloodshot,
Okay.
Crow.
Mortal Kombat's at the top.
Mhm.
Crow's in the
Wow.
middle. Bloodshot's at the bottom.
Okay.
That's more
So, okay,
Actually-
change the Dorf. I wanted to ask you this.
Yeah.
James Gunn teased Jon Stewart again. There has not
Yeah.
been any actor attached to it yet. Who do you think would be a great character or actor for that character.
So I actually just watched a movie, Rebel Ridge on Netflix.
Oh yes, same thought.
I'm done.
Dude, that actor
done.
would be freaking.
I'm done.
Let me
Who
help
is
this
he?
guy out.
Who,
He
Boot
got
me.
himself out.
Boot me. Boot
who is
me.
it again? Who is it again?
Boot me.
Rebel
Rebel
Ridge.
Ridge. It's a
Ridge.
show on Netflix. He
Rebel
doesn't-
Red.
It-
movie.
the movie I don't
had
think was
3
anything great.
speaking lines in the whole
but-
movie.
Him and his intensity and the gravity that he
Can you
brought
boot
to
me
the
again?
Ish,
Wait.
you don't. Ish, do you not like that movie? The movie Ish, or you don't like that actor?
It's not even that I don't like the actor. It's that you get this actor in this movie that no one has ever seen before, and now everybody is saying that the
Who's everybody?
that the first. Listen, there's a whole group called Black Comic Lords. You're not the first person that has said this. All I hear about on the internet now is this guy should suddenly be Jon Stewart. And it's
I'm
like
not-
the first black actor you see, not name the guy who played Kang, to pop up in a movie. And I'm not even talking about you in particular. It's like the whole community is like, he should be Jon Stewart. Based on what? 3 lines?
Not Idris Elba. Isn't he the
Right.
Hell, no.
Exactly.
You know what? That's actually. You know, I got to be honest. Never thought about that. I think Idris Elba as a Jon Stewart. I think that'll.
I think
fucking
he's
work.
too old.
that? I mean, that's something you have to.
And I'm not
consider,
hating on what
you
you're
know,
saying,
but-
Dorf. You're just one of many people who are suddenly like, yo, Rebel Ridge, this guy, you know what I mean?
I can't speak to any of that. I can only speak to I watched the movie, and it's not like this incredible movie. The movie's entertaining, but he had me interested and engaged. Like, he is the reason why that movie to me wasn't bad. Like, the way he portrayed the character, it definitely had me.
If it's James Gunn, it's probably going to be John Boyega.
And by the way, this is it's Rambo, right? It's modern era Rambo.
Kind of. Yeah.
Look at that present.
First of all, I'm glad he had a good film. I'm glad people like it. I want to see more from him. I've never seen him before this, ever. So I would like to see more from him for sure. If he gets the part of Jon Stewart, cool.
Yes,
I never saw this.
I've
this comic
never
when you
seen
do.
him.
How did I
never
miss
seen
a
that
post
film.
of yours? I never saw this.
There you go. Look at Dell's on it. Dell's
It's
on
a thing. It's a thing. That's why I said, like, Dorf, it's really a thing. Where people are seeing Rebel Ridge and now they're saying cast him as Jon Stewart. Like, it's a thing. It's really a thing.
Look, don't get me wrong. I if you asked me, I would say Michael B. Jordan could do it. But like, I don't want to see him in every comic book movie.
Good job, boot me again.
No, I'm not saying he should be. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying Michael B. Jordan is a great actor.
No, he's
Whatever.
not. Oh my God. I quit. Boot me. I need to be booted. I really need to be. No, I'm just kidding, Dorf. He is not a great actor. I don't. Where do we get this from? What's the bar for a great actor? Can you name another great actor?
I want to say good actor.
Hold on. The first movie that I saw him in, it was phenomenal. Fruitvale Station, and he was incredible in it.
I liked
Have
him
you
in The
seen it?
Wire. Of course.
Okay.
I liked him in The Wire.
I didn't even think about The Wire. Yes, I love him in The Wire also.
You don't like him in Rainbow Six? Not Rainbow Six. That.
Yo,
Tom
that
Clancy
was
movie?
horrible. The Tom Clancy.
That was terrible.
Really bad.
Who is that? J-Rob? No.
He was bad in Black
Frank,
Panther.
Frank.
He was bad in Creed.
He was not
He was
bad.
bad. He was bad in so many films.
I
Look,
disagree with you.
if we want to get the
completely.
greatest Green Lantern, we just get this guy right here. Alfred can play Green Lantern. Just saying, man.
Who's that dude?
That's
Alfred
Oh,
Pennyworth.
Alfred Pennyworth is playing
That's
Green
right.
Lantern.
That's all you got to do. Put him as Green Lantern. Case done.
I think they should get the guy who played Kang.
I like Jonathan Majors, man. I liked him as Kang. He's just got a bum rap.
Chronicle was really dope for a super power film that they just should have built up. Chronicle was really dope. He wasn't
it
great in
was.
it, but only one person was great in it. The bad guy. Was
No,
really
for
good.
sure. That kid definitely carried that film.
All right, guys. We're an hour over. We're 3 hours.
Yeah, okay. So look, one more question is
Sorry, for the answer to who's a great actor, my favorite actor of all time is Edward Norton.
Okay, good. He's a great actor. He is a
so
great actor.
you know how you
There's
get a lot
your barometer for him.
of memes popping out. This is another one that's been showing out.
Yeah,
No.
please no. Please God no.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm done
what
with
the
it.
fuck?
So I think that
Guess what?
to be honest with you, I
What
think
the
well I'm
fuck?
gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real. And I'm gonna be real for real. To be honest with you, I think John Cena, I think The Rock, I think a lot of these people have places in the MCU, and I'd like to see them there. And that's in the I don't know as what I just like. I want to see realistic superheroes. I wouldn't mind if you put some paint on The Rock's face and called him Apocalypse. It wouldn't bother me.
I'm not against The Rock at all. I just, where would you put him? Honest, I know you just said Apocalypse. Where would you put The Rock in? Seriously.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm from Miami. I love The Rock. My favorite wrestler growing up, but I don't need him in anywhere near Marvel, in my opinion. It's just I got him as a Black Adam. That was a nice try. It was a good attempt.
I'd have been fine with him as Thing.
I was just gonna say that. Literally just gonna say I can see him as Thing.
It's just so fucking distracting having The Rock there because it's like in the back
Again,
of your head.
He won't be distracting like that if he's the Thing.
Then we don't need. Then we just don't
Just a
need
voice,
him.
yeah.
We don't need him. You know.
I
But The
can see him
Rock
as
always
Luke
wants to
Cage.
be The Rock. Luke Cage.
Yeah. Yep.
I
Luke
gotta say, I
Bald
like
head with a goatee. I can see him as Luke. I can see him as
I
Power.
gotta tell you,
The guy
You know
who played
who's-
Luke Cage on the show was a great
Luke
casting.
Cage.
Luke Cage.
Yeah, I agree, but I could still see The Rock as Luke Cage.
Oh, I don't need it. It's too distracting, dude. It's looking at Ben Affleck as Batman, as Bruce Wayne rather, and it's just, it's distracting to me.
Dave Bautista, man. Hugo Strange. Been saying it.
Hugo Strange. This is so dumb, bro. Now that he's skinny.
Why did he lose so much weight again?
Or another actor. role.
Because he's not on steroids
No,
anymore. He
it's
doesn't need
not-
the body.
It's not for another role. He wants
He
to be
also
able
wanted
to
to lose
get.
weight, yeah.
He wants to
He's
be
a
able to
vegetarian
get
now. And
other
he's
roles.
I think
He-
he just doesn't want to take steroids anymore.
And
He's-
he
he's-
did mention health.
Yeah, he's
No,
50 plus years old and carrying all that muscle weight around. It's not good.
But
Trust
he
me,
did.
I've been there.
He said getting cast
I've
as
been
something
there.
other than the muscle bound, whatever.
You've been there.
I've been there.
Steroids.
Carrying
And he's
all
not.
that muscle, it weighs a lot for you. I'm 52 and I had to drop a lot of that. It just
No, I
He's
guess
not the
he's
best
just-
actor in the world, but he's shown. Listen, his role in the most recent Blade Runner, like he really showed that he can be compelling. For the few minutes that he was on screen before he got killed, like he really showed he can be compelling.
I can't deal with that guy at all. Every time I see him on the screen, he's okay in Guardians of the Galaxy in that particular sort of outside the box role, because that's a really weird role. But every other time I see him in a movie, I'm like, I don't want this guy here at all. He was okay
Did you
in
see
the
Blade Runner?
I did. I don't like Blade Runner at all. And
You're
that's what I'm
not
saying.
gonna-
Like
you're not gonna
every
Cabin?
movie that he's in, I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want Spectre. I don't want Blade Runner. I don't want Cabin. It's not Cabin in the Woods.
Knock at the
Knock
cabin.
at the Cabin. I don't want.
You know,
I
like
didn't
Dead?
like that Zack Snyder zombie thing he did on
the
Netflix.
zombie movies.
Army
Like
of Dead.
every time he's Dune, every time he's in something, I'm like, I'm already
If you
checked
say
out.
you don't like the Riddick movies, we need to put you at the bottom too.
I like the first. I don't like the. He was in the last one, the fourth one or something. I don't like the
Mhm.
fourth one.
I'm
Whatever
just-
that one is, I don't like. But the other ones I
The
do.
second Riddick
Riddick-
movie was
What
Chronicles
did
of
Dave
Riddick,
Bautista
or
do?
Chronicles of Riddick, yeah, and then it was
The
so
second one
third
was pretty
the
bad.
third one.
What did he do?
I like
to you?
I like Chronicles of Riddick.
I like all the Riddick films. I just like the world.
Yeah, I do too. That's why I was kind of bummed when they went from Chronicles, where he basically took over the whole freaking dead people's thing, and then in the next movie he was like, never mind, just get me out of here.
That would be a
Oh,
bad thing.
all right.
Hey, Caesar, you know how you said you felt carrying all the muscle and all that stuff?
Yeah, because
I feel the same way when I carry this page and get all these followers. I'm just saying, man. Yeah, a little help once in a while would be good.
you're
You're like you're the J-Rob to Wish.
He just gave you one in the stink, bro.
Trouble in paradise.
You know what? Luckily, it's all right. I'm all right with it.
Nah, he's an IG guy. You know, he's always.
Yeah, I pump up this show on IG every
You might
day.
need one of those 1,000 bottles of
I'm
Oh,
so
here
glad.
goes
you-
Jay.
God.
Jay,
I'm
Jay.
so glad.
You could
I
have
love the
finished that
punchline.
one off,
J-Rob.
J-Rob.
J-Rob
the
actually had
punchline.
the seat. He had the whole room to himself, and he fucking cut off in mid sentence.
You gassed us up, man. You left us with a fucking.
You should have typed it out. I would have
J-Rob,
fucking put
next
it in
time
the
tie
screen.
a key to a fucking kite when we go live. Maybe the electricity will give some kind of internet.
Caesar was there back then, so he knows what he's talking about.
Apparently.
Oh shit!
All right,
crazy.
guys. This is stupid. All right, here we go. We're at 3 hours. Not that I give a shit because I'm not working. So what the fuck am I doing?
Oh, I work tomorrow morning. Too.
Like you guys have to work. I know some of you guys have to work early. We talked a lot today about the whole Null thing. Then we got into the bracket, which is the worst supervillain ASM bracket of all time.
At least you got the two good ones at the end. At least it worked out.
It worked out.
It wasn't
Electro
like
won.
Yo, how did it turn?
It wasn't
out
like
that?
Black Tarantula versus Silver Sable.
Okay, well,
was-
let me ask you guys something. Now,
it
let
was
me
the-
ask you guys something.
it was the
Electro
gods.
won. Electro won the bracket. Out of the guys who were missing, Venom, Sandman, Mysterio, Scorpion, would they have beaten Electro?
Mary Jane
Sandman
beat 'em all.
probably would have had
Sandman
a
is the
shot.
only
because-
one who
yeah.
would have had a shot, real
Yeah.
shot.
Again,
Although
again,
in reality, remember what we talk about when
Yeah.
lightning hits sand, it goes
Yeah.
to glass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and he has turned Sandman into glass before.
Yeah, yeah.
guys, at the end of the day, Electro is
It's Electro. Yeah,
So it wouldn't have mattered.
Electro is the most underrated villain in Spider-Man's entire rogues gallery. Period.
There's
Like
those.
really.
There's really just those three people. I mean, it's got to be.
And, you know, I just googled it right. It says Green Goblin is the strongest villain against Spider-Man.
It's so dumb.
Well,
There's
against
no way
Spider-Man,
Green
he
Goblin.
said. Against Spider-Man.
Green
not
Goblin,
against the other bad guys.
Norman Osborn
Yeah.
is probably Spider-Man's biggest villain, period. And he probably, like at the end of the day, like he could beat Electro, but not because he could just go toe to toe with him, but because he's Norman Osborn and he's got resources like Shield and to that level. Like he really has those resources. You know what I mean?
With enough prep time, anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah, but Norman Osborn is a different animal. Like this is the guy who created Hammer, who created the Dark Avengers, who created the Dark X-Men, who actually has these resources to actually create and implement things on that type of level. He created Spider-Man's new costume. He like all these things that Norman Osborn and Oscorp are capable of is on it.
It's like-
Think about it. Think about it. During
So
Civil
you're saying
War.
he
During Civil War, Norman Osborn orchestrated a breakout from the Raft, which is a military superhero villain prison, to specifically get Electro. Like his target was Electro because he had to show Electro, like I'm about to show you how powerful you really are, and I'm going to use you as my weapon. You know what I mean? Like that's Norman Osborn.
I got to.
But Electro beats him if they just stand in the room fighting.
Yeah, they
Caesar
need to
So
bring
you're
him
saying
out.
he would beat Paul Giamatti's Rhino then, right?
Oh my god.
You know what?
Hey, I will say
Alright,
one thing from what we saw. I will say one thing about this whole Craven thing, the trailer, that they're bringing the Rhino. At least they made him into sort of a Rhino instead of just a guy with the suit with the little head sticking out.
Yeah,
with
except
the
he's
little-
like wearing pants. He's like wearing Dockers.
he is wearing doctors.
It's weird.
Is it really like a rhino?
You
Yeah.
still need
He
Yeah,
he
he's like
gets
a
like the
beast.
Rhino skin and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that because if they made it, imagine making him like a big guy with the little face cut out with the little horn coming, it would be pretty.
I'm
right.
actually glad he's wearing pants.
I haven't seen him because I really like Rhino as a villain. I mean, obviously, we didn't get him in the Spider-Man
Oh, there you go. We didn't get him.
Villain,
He would have
you know
lost
what I mean?
anyways.
Against Electro? Fuck
against
yeah.
Electro, yeah, but he probably would have wiped the floor with 90% of the people on that list.
I don't know about Flathead.
All right. How about Tombstone
Hammerhead.
or Rhino? Just for you, Ish. Tombstone or Rhino?
Rhino just, I mean, we're talking somebody who's at least as strong as the Thing versus Tombstone, who's not. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
Rhino does go toe to toe with Hulk. I mean,
yeah, he's like super strong. You know what I mean? And you know, Tombstone is stronger, but nowhere near Rhino strength.
Isn't it funny how these Sony movies do not move the needle on books? Because has anyone seen an ASM 40 an ASM 40 move up in price? Or was it 41 or 40?
Is that Rhino?
41.
41.
41. Yeah, that's the rhino turning into the rhino. So he takes rhino skin. You know.
Yeah, but I think that these questions aren't fair, and I was just kind of talking about this recently, and I'm actually going to do it on one of my own shows about this, the Dazzler thing, and I don't think these questions are fair when you talk about move the needle on major keys. Like I could see if you're talking about like some whack key like Wolverine on a cross, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
We're talking Rhino. Like the movie doesn't have to move; it's gonna still always be the first appearance of Rhino.
No,
you know
no,
what I mean?
A very ASM key is an ASM key is an ASM.
Right, right.
I get it. So a movie, right? Moving the Wolverine on the cross.
Talked about this before.
I get that.
That these movies and shows right now are helping the sale of the book, but you're not going to see crazy price climbs and books like that. I think in more more of those modern books that they're like new releases, and then they're a few $100s literally the same day. It's like holy shit, like that.
Right.
You'll see that, but then even that comes down.
Like if someone says, "Oh, I invested in the first Rhino and it tanked. It didn't do what I wanted to do because of a movie." Like, stop it. It's the first Rhino. It's not gonna bottom out because it did because of a movie, or you're not. If it increases in value, okay, then it's just gonna drop back to where it was at after the movie. But Rhino's not bottoming it out after a movie.
So
the first Carnage did.
Say again?
Yeah, but the first Carnage spiked.
It didn't bottom out. It spiked and dropped back to where it should be.
Right. But Carnage came out during, close to peak time. Like we're talking like even Morbius and Carnage, those were still spec like back then. We're talking like now, like people aren't specking on older keys like that. Like all of a sudden Rhino goes from $200 to $600. Like
So let's just say Craven. Okay, two. There's two right there actually. So let's just say Craven because the first ASM 15, right? Then you have ASM 41. If that movie tanks, you're not going to be able to buy an ASM 15 or ASM 41.
I can't afford ASM 15 now or before the movie, so it doesn't matter to me.
Again, right now where we're in is that movies and shows are helping sell the book. It's not like between you and I know it's still considered unaffordable. It's really not that unaffordable of a key like right now compared to like your big blue chips. You can get a first Cravenite for a couple $100, and I know a couple $100 is different to everybody.
This is not going to drop if the movie tanks.
Right.
It's just not.
No, we're pretty much back stable in the market. Like
listen, Dazzler, which is the big rumor, which is why I took umbrage with it. Bronze Age X-Men key. Frank, I understand how you feel about this stuff, but here's the reality, right? That Dazzler book isn't less than what it was before the rumor started. It spiked, but it didn't drop when they say it tanked. It didn't go back. Now you can buy it for less than what it was before there was ever rumors of Taylor Swift playing Dazzler. Like you cannot buy it for less than that now.
I got a question for you. What volume is it a very high or do you have it like in the middle? Because I want to know why are you so loud when
because I'm me.
Passionate, baby.
Passionate.
I'm passionate.
It is a good mic though. It is a good mic.
It is a good mic. Yeah. I'm deaf most of the time.
I'll turn it down a little bit. Next time.
Next time. That's what Caesar wants to have you back on. Caesar's been talking about you since
Caesar hates me. He's never gonna have me back on.
Oh, I'll never have J Rob back. Issues all the time.
J Rob, I got you, J Rob. I got you. We're gonna get
you're gonna get him with some new internet. That's what you're gonna get him. Because that dial-up is not working, man.
It's fine. J Rob's always talking shit in the comment section. I like to go and
he's got the devil's air. Yeah, J Rob's got the devil's air rate every single time he fucking logs onto the internet, man. It's just pretty bad.
So
you should just give him a type function so he can just type.
I'm sorry, I know sign language, bro.
Every single time he gets on the internet, he hears that. Would you like to play a game?
Wow.
Wow.
That's right.
We're gonna start with that first.
Raise your hand on the screen if you got the War Games reference.
How about
he's on that Whopper computer?
Thermonuclear war. Like, yo.
Frank has no idea what we're talking about.
None.
No.
So we're gonna go and do our goodbyes as usual. But we're gonna let J Rob go first
because he takes the longest.
I think that.
You find me here whenever they let me. Come on.
That's it.
That's
I actually want more, so we can.
it. I know it's actually working correctly.
I know. J Rob, right now, since it
Winter
works,
Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
you just answered it. Thanks.
All right.
That's like
One ball hits the next.
That's right. I have no hair. Dorf Knight, comic book buy sell trade group, Ramen Reserves, D&D pop culture smash group, and just find me anywhere. Yeah.
We
Thanks
went
for
from
having me, guys.
we went from Kimbo Slice to Kimbo Rice.
David Chappelle. All right.
It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't even matter what I.
Yo, y'all can find me.
It doesn't matter what I say.
Y'all can find me on Comic Senseo, MIXSENSE on Facebook, Facebook group, Facebook page. You can find me at Comic Sense on Instagram and ISHUE.X on Instagram as well. Shout out to y'all. Really appreciate being here.
Yeah, we went long then. Who's
Oh,
next?
okay, and the next person was gonna be Mr. Tom.
It's still Molten Man. It's still Molten Man.
That's
Molten Man
right.
all
For
the
the win.
way to the end is Molten Man. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This was super fun. I appreciate it. Love nerd talk, movie talk, and all that kind of stuff. So you guys can find me at Big Dog Inc. We do Kickstarters all the time. BigDogInc.com is our website, and I'm going to be at Baltimore Comic Con this weekend, and then I'll be down week of the October 13th. We got invited to go down to San Antonio, so it'll be our first time in Texas in about 10 years for a big Texas Comic Con.
When is this?
So Baltimore is this weekend, and then Big Texas Comic Con is the weekend of the 13th of October.
I'm gonna be in San Antonio on that weekend.
There you go.
Well, guess what?
What?
You both go
Come to the show.
Come to the show.
I'm going to a Barbacoa and Big Red convention though. So
This guy.
and that's a
Well,
real big. That's a real
Then
thing. Though.
then come on Friday or come on Sunday. You can go to the other thing on Saturday.
I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
So then we got oh my.
Oh, you got look at.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. showed up.
I love that. That's dope.
This is my Halloween costume. Our next show, I'll make sure to be dressed up. All right, guys. I have been Frank with That Last Comics. I appreciate both you and Del and Caesar, and congratulations on all the growth, Del and Caesar. Thanks for everything else you do on the side with him, I guess. You can catch me on Instagram at That Last Comics. Where is it? Right here. Boom. I would appreciate a follow, man. Guys, if you want to see some more awesome content like this, make sure to tune in to every Comic Menu show, man. These guys are always having some awesome discussions and a great panel. Everyone, wait, this way. Everything's merry. It's cool kicking it with all you guys, man. A few of you guys, this is our first time hanging out, so thanks for having me, guys.
Frank, I got a question. Does anybody confuse you with Dave Najera?
Who the fuck is that?
Or Dave Navarro, I think it was the last name then?
Dave Navarro.
Yeah, Dave Navarro.
Oh, from Jane's Addiction.
Yeah, that one.
From
Oh,
Ink Master.
the dude from, is he from, it's
Ink
not
Master.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, right?
No.
He was with Red Hot
He
Chili
was
Peppers for an
back in the
album.
day.
There was one album he did with them.
Yeah, he's
If
the one who
somebody
was the
compares
host.
me to that guy, I'll take
You're
it.
right.
I'll take it.
It's not a bad compliment.
That's a
When you
good-looking
compare
man
him,
right
like,
there.
dang.
Yo,
Yeah,
at least
Victor-
I want to say first of all, Frank, you know I always love kicking it with you, man. It's always dope when we kick it when we're on. But I just wanted to say real quick, at least Frank ain't putting us all to shame by sitting here this time, cracking ASM 50s and you know while he's politicking on the Comic Menu, putting us all to shame. He decided to to give us a bit of a respite.
Yeah, he banged Cameron Lecter. Exactly.
Yeah, he banged Cameron Lecter. All right, guys. What a show. We talked about everything. We even threw a bracket challenge in there. We did movie talk. We did all the good stuff, and it doesn't matter. We had a good time, and want to thank our guests, our esteemed guests, Tom, for jumping in last minute, J-Rob, Ish, Frank. You guys know I love you so much. Dorf, you're always there, my man. You're always a good guy to have on. You can see me on Instagrams and on the Facebooks commenting and trolling Ish. Instagram, The Real Dracula's Wolf, for your reels. Once again, I've been very busy with the reels lately. So if you see a reel with a voiceover talking about a live promo show, it's probably me. So
Oh,
let's go ahead and let's make some, as Atlas says, let's make some babies.
let's make some fucking babies.
Oh, there we go. All right.
I always like to know what together. So, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I almost didn't come in because I was sick or I got sick eating McDonald's. But Caesar was just doing such a horrible, time. I had to jump in. One thing we have J-Rob that was always freezing, and we have Caesar that doesn't know how to coordinate. Ish always complaining. Tom going into everything in full detail. Dorf was just there, seeming like an old man. And Frank just got here towards the end. But I appreciate y'all helping me. I'm the last one, so y'all can fucking roast me. I see y'all next Tuesday at 8 p.m. No, see, I'm the last person. I appreciate you. Again, we don't know what we're gonna have again. It's gonna be one of those shows, probably. Hopefully, James Gunn announces who's gonna be the new fucking Green Lantern, and we can talk about that. Maybe talk about Agatha after I watch it, and then I gotta watch Penguin. That's something we gotta watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, when is Ahsoka? I mean Agatha on?
Ahsoka. I think it's on 19th.
I think it's this week, the 19th,
Yeah, this week.
or next week. Is it next week?
Tomorrow.
19th, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow
Okay,
has
it's
to be two
tomorrow.
episodes too.
Thursday, not Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Wednesday, fool.
Yeah, but that would be the
Wednesday.
18th because
18th.
Wednesday is the 18th.
That's the 19th, I think.
Yeah, we're already on Wednesday.
I was gonna say
It-
today's
it's-
Wednesday for me.
Me too.
All right, so it'll be Thursday then.
No, it's Wednesday.
It's
I don't
tonight. Isn't it every
No, it's
Wednesday?
Thursday.
Yeah.
They've been changing it every.
Make up your mind. Is it Thursday or Wednesday?
Thursday the 19th.
Wednesday.
You keep on saying the same shit.
Unbelievable, man. It's like fucking playing with my.
Release
Like-
date is the 18th tonight.
Yeah,
Tonight.
it's
There
today.
we go.
Tonight. First episode date.
Next
All right,
night.
It's two episodes.
Thank you.
Do we have to wait till
Actually-
tonight, or can we just watch it because it's Wednesday? Can I just go to watch it
No,
now?
you gotta wait, and I think you gotta wait until.
Oh, it was
Wednesday
midday.
for like the West Coast or something. Like that,
It was
too.
midday. They said so.
Also,
I
also,
was
don't
ahead
forget,
already.
don't forget the promo. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't doing it right now. So anyway.
What's the meaning of this disturbance?